Former student union president. Oh. Former student union president. Please celebrate one of you. Celebrate one of you. Thank you very much. And we have Mr. Taufik Abdul Karim, the CEO of Plant Energies Limited, Ilorin. You are welcome. God bless you all. My address, please scan this once again, you have it. The Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Academic, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Administration, Deputy Vice Chancellor Research, Innovation and Development, the Dean, our esteemed guest speaker, partners and colleagues, friends, and all technology enthusiasts. A very warm welcome to you all on behalf of the dedicated members of the local organizing committee. It is both an honor and privilege to officially welcome you to this remarkable gathering of brilliant minds and innovation spirit. Today we celebrate the synergy of ideas, the spirit of collaboration, endless possibilities, and opportunities that arise when vision meets commitment. Our committee's journey, much like the theme of today's lecture, has been one of working without borders. We have collaborated across departments, drawn from the energy and the creativity of our student volunteers, and partnered with forward-thinking organizations to bring vision to life. Our mission was clear from the onset, to create a space that is not only intellectually stimulating, but also deeply inspiring, where meaningful conversation about Africa's technological future can flourish. When we first conceived this event, we asked ourselves a defining question: how do we transform great Ife spirit, the creativity, excellence, and resilience that define our university into tangible global impact? We believe the answer lies right here, in the conversation that will happen today, in the networks that will be formed, and in the areas that will be born in this very hall. This event stands as a living proof of the power of collaboration. It demonstrates what can happen when brilliant students, visionary faculty, and passionate industry partners unite behind a shared purpose. I wish to express my deepest gratitude to our faculty advisors, our tireless student volunteers, and our generous sponsors who believed in this dream and made it a reality. You have shown that when Great Ife decides to act, the world feels the impact. My remarks today will be brief because the real value of this gathering lies not in the speeches, but in dialogue. I urge everyone present to participate actively, ask daring questions, exchange ideas freely, and identify opportunities for partnership. The local organizing committee has set the stage now. The spotlight is on you. Fill the space with ideas, with courage, and with action. Let this lecture ignite not just discussion, but movement that will shape the future of technology, talent, and collaboration in Africa. Thank you, and I wish you all a most engaging and transforming lecture. Please, I want to also state that we are online presently, and quite a number of people are joining us. I have people that called me to say, even from outside the country, to say that they want to be partners with this lecture. Even people that are not from Ife, they don't know Ife at all, but they said they want to be part of this spirit. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thank you very much, sir. We want to recognize the presence of Dr. Mutiu Agboke, Resident Commissioner, INEC, Osun State. You're welcome, sir. Alhaji Mugis Yusuf, Pioneer Registrar, Federal Government of Education, Iwo, Osun State. The road, okay, College of Education, Iwo, Osun State. Sir, can you, okay, yes, sir, you're welcome, sir. Architect Abiola Anifowoshe, former Commissioner for Physical Planning and Urban Development, Lagos State. You're welcome, sir. Professor Musa Aibinu, Vice Chancellor, Summit University, Offa. Means recognition of regional okay. Mr. Tunde Aziz, Principal Product Management, Microsoft Azure USA. You're welcome. You're welcome, sir. Engineer Mohammed Elegbede, Applications Engineer, NTT Data USA. You're welcome. Engineer Taufik Abdukarim, CEO Plant Technologies Limited, Ilorin. You're welcome. Engineer Idris Olatunji, Production Techno, Shell EX. You're welcome, sir. So the next thing on the agenda is Chairman's address by Okay, let's listen to the opening speech by the host, our own Dean of Technology in the person of Professor L.E. Umoru.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. As much as I would like to stand on the existing protocol, I would also like to break it a little bit. Recognize our fathers in our midst. I want to start with Professor Fola Lasisi. He was a former VC of several universities, from University of for 8 years, Crescent University, and several other appointments as was the president of Nigeria Academy of Engineers. Prof, you are welcome, sir. I also want to please recognize the chairman of this occasion. He was our great mentor, Professor T.A. Kuku, for accepting to be here. Then I take it to our guest speaker. Who has to calculate the mileage he has taken down here. We will not be able to appreciate him enough. But then, please appreciate our little recognition. I cannot mention your team one by one because of the time. On that note, I want to stand on those existing protocols. The Vice Chancellor of this great university, represented by Dr. Also, the DVC Academic, Professor G.A. Adiromu, who will soon join us. The two other DVCs, the DVC admin, the DVC RID, Research and Development in absentia, other principal officers. Actually, the university has about 4 occasions today, and they are running side by side. So, distributed themselves. Our principal officers have been today across those, and the VC is actually not in the university at the moment. So, we are expecting the DVC card to join us while the program continues. With that, I want to also recognize the Vice Chancellor of Summit University, a Magaji in Ibadan land. Sorry for the late recognition, sir. You are a Vice Chancellor in your right. Exactly. My immediate predecessor, who is the VC of Moro campus of university, Professor Olukoya Femi. You are welcome, sir. The Director of Academic Planning of this university is in our midst also, in person Professor L.A. Lukman. Welcome, sir. Beside you, please. Beside you. With that, please pardon me to Also recognize the dean of our baby, Faculty of Technology. He's a humble fellow. He's well seated here. Professor E.A. Olajubu is the Dean of Faculty of Computer Science and Engineering. Thank you. Other senior professors in the faculty here present, please. I cannot name one by one. Bear with me. Let me go straight then to this presentation. Good morning. It is with an honor and a profound joy that I welcome you to this special lecture on behalf of our great Faculty of Technology. As the Dean of this vibrant and forward-thinking faculty, I am privileged to host this important conversation. One that calls not only to listen, but to reimagine, to build, and to act. While our Vice Chancellor has relentlessly been setting visions before us, my task this moment and this morning is to bring vision home, to explore the how, the practical steps by which we, within our academic community, can translate that vision into tangible impact. The theme, Innovation Without Borders, is more than a title. It is a challenge for us to think differently about how we teach, how we research, and how we collaborate. For far too long, engineering and technology have been structured within strict disciplinary walls, where a mechanical engineer sits somewhere, a computer scientist sits the other way, each solving problems in isolation. But the age of artificial intelligence has dissolved those boundaries. The most transformative innovations of our time now emerge at the crossroads of disciplines, where data science meets civil engineering and estate valuers to create smart cities, where algorithms meet biomedical engineering to produce life-saving diagnosis tools, and where environmental technology meets artificial intelligence to sustain our planet. Here in the Faculty of Technology, we are deliberately redesigning the way we educate and engage our students. We are moving beyond theory into purposeful, project-based learning that confronts Africa's real-world challenges head-on. Our students are already designing sustainable energy systems, developing data-driven solutions for agriculture, and experimenting with automation for local industries. We are also introducing humanities into technology, thereby integrating ethics and philosophy, because building responsible AI is as essential as building powerful AI. Our goal is to nurture talent that is not only technically competent, but also ethical, empathetic, and globally competitive. Talent that can lead innovation with integrity. Our collaboration with the local organizing committee has been exemplary, and I wish to acknowledge their remarkable effort in making this event possible. This collaboration symbolizes the kind of synergy our future depends upon: academia generating ideas and talent, and industry providing context, challenges, and platforms for deployment. It is only through such partnerships that innovation can truly thrive. To our students, those of you standing, please, I stand with you. Thank you very much. To our students, you are the heartbeat of this faculty and the central characters in this unfolding story. You are not here merely to earn degrees, You are here to build capacity, to create, to dream, and to lead. See your education not as a checklist for of exams, but as a toolbox for transformation. Challenge your teachers. Collaborate across departments. Engage boldly with our guest speakers today. And be fearless in experimenting with new ideas. The next great African innovation, perhaps the next money point, seamless HR, or Jobberman, could begin with a conversation you have in this hall today. Let this lecture not end with applause, but with action. Let it spark new research ideas, new projects, and new partnerships. Let it inspire us to make our faculty not only a center but the very epicenter of borderless innovation in Africa. Today, let us move from ideas to impact, from classrooms to communities, and from great life to the global stage. I thereby wish to please solicit for your rapt attention as the guest lecturer makes his presentation so that we can maximize our benefit from that. Thank you, as I wish you all a most engaging and inspiring session. Professor Eli Umuru. Thank you.
A round of applause for our Dean. Withstanding innovation, let's applaud our Dean. Thank you very much, Sir Zama. I want to recognize the presence of Professor K. Taiwo, Professor Adeniro, Professor Okunade, Professor Morakinyo, Professor Olajubu, Professor Oloruniwo, the Vice Dean of Faculty of Technology, A.O. Aregbeshola. Please come to the front. Come to the front seat, sir. Ma. Ushers, please. Usher out to the front, please. Thank you very much, ma. Professor Aoye, your record. Dr. Apampa, Faculty Secretary. You're welcome, sir. I also want to recognize the presence of Alaja. She's an engineer. Alaji and, okay, Alaja Yemi Ajijolaiya. MDES Farm. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome, ma. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma. So, I would like to welcome the chairman, our mentor, retired but not tired, Professor T.A. Kuku, for chairman's address. A round of applause for Prof. Please don't stop clapping. Don't let us be tired of clapping.
Thank you very much. I will say good morning to everyone. It is really a pleasure to be here. And I want to start off by thanking the organizing committee for the grace extended to me by not forgetting me and saying that I should come around once again to be part of you so as to be able to grace this occasion. I will say a big thank you. I want to also appreciate in the same realm, my boss. I remember when I was giving my outing validation lecture, Professor Lasisi was around, and I was able to appreciate him then that as one of those that employed me and that interviewed me when I came in. So it's a real pleasure to see him here once again. A number of the professors here, this morning I got so much joy that while I was dean, some of those I employed then are now professors. So we thank God for that grace that everyone have moved up and everybody is doing quite well. And I continue to wish everyone all the very best. It's also nice to know that one of my former students is a vice chancellor and he's looking at me. I remember I used to visit, what's that our place? Mina. And he was a lovely professor there. And he was running one very lovely program. I think it was with apart from the program, he had a lab that was attached to Babangida's house up the hill in Mina. And he took me there. I was so excited. So it's nice seeing you again. So it's nice seeing everybody. So this program, one is excited also that one of our alumnus in the faculty is giving this lecture. Incidentally, he just told me that he was a classmate to my son. So, so we are connected one way or the other. So the issue of innovation is something that should interest all of us, especially concerning this age of AI. And a number of things are happening in the universities. A number of new innovations are coming up. A number of new are being developed or being put together towards doing some research work. And the idea is that once these things are established, we have to be able to ensure that they are extended not only within the university but outside in terms of marketing, in terms of development, in terms of all that. I will hope that with this lecture, many of us will be more enlightened as to you, such that we'll all be able to gain one thing or the other from the lecture and we benefit from it all. So I welcome you all to this lecture, and I hope you all have a wonderful time, and at the end of it all, be able to gain by it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I want to quickly recognize the presence of Dr. A.E. Adereti, Acting Director, Directorate of Staff Training, OAU. You're welcome, sir. Professor Odajobi from Chemical Engineering. You're welcome, sir. So while waiting for the VT, please, let's enjoy some music. Music department. Quickly recognize the presence of Professor Adekoya. You're welcome, sir. Thank you so much for that musical interlude. Really enjoyed it. So now, I want to welcome our guest lecturer, Engineer Idris Ayodeji Bello. Engineer, a round of applause for our guest lecturer. Sir, please, can you be on your feet for your citation, sir? Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Dr. Adejuwo, please come and read the citation. Thank you so much.
Yes. Citation. Yes, so I'm reading the citation of Idris Ayodeji Bello, the Afropreneur. Idris Ayodeji Bello is the founding partner and managing partner at Lofty Inc. Capital Management, a pioneering Pan-African venture capital firm that has played a defining role in shaping Africa's technology startup ecosystem. An alumnus of Obafemi Awolowo University, where he graduated with first-class honors in computer engineering. In 2002, Idris proudly traces the foundation of his entrepreneurial to his at Great Ife, a campus he credits for instilling in him the discipline, curiosity, and community-mindedness that continue to guide his work across Africa and beyond. He is the originator of the term Afropreneur. Please. Describing African-descended innovators who apply technology and creativity to solve pressing challenges and create opportunities around the continent and the diaspora. Idris helped establish some of the continent's earliest innovation infrastructure, including Innovation Hub, Afropreneur Angel Group, and the Lagos Angel Network, institutions that have nurtured a new generation of African founders and investors. A Kaufman Fellow and Singularity University Impact Fellow, Idris has been recognized by CNN as one of Africa's top 10 technology voices. His academic credentials reflect a lifelong commitment to learning and global excellence. An MSc in computer science and data mining from the University of Houston, an MSc in global health science from the University of Oxford, and an MBA from Rice University in Houston, alongside a certificate in exponential technologies from Singularity University in Silicon Valley. Now you can clap. His professional journey spans energy, technology, and healthcare, with prior leadership roles at Procter & Gamble, Chevron, ExxonMobil, and the Clinton Health Access Initiative. He is also a fellow of the Society for Corporate Governance Nigeria and serves as an independent non-executive director at Stanbic Financial Services Limited, among others. A 2011 Harambee Entrepreneurial Alliance Fellow, Idris has, through Lofty Inc. Capital, led investments into hundreds of Africa's most dynamic startups, including 4 unicorns: Andela, Flutwave, Wave, and Move. Under his leadership, Lofty Inc. now manages over $100 million in assets across 3 fronts, with teams operating in Nigeria, Egypt, Kenya, and Francophone Africa. The fund's portfolio has raised over $2 billion in follow-on capital and delivered standout returns to investors. Lofty Inc. investors include major development finance institutions such as IFC, FMO, Propaco, sovereign and government funds, including those of Nigeria, Saudi Arabia, Tunisia, and Egypt, and strategic institutions such as the Bank of Industry, Nigeria, and Odua Investment Group. Widely regarded as one of the continent's leading technology investors and ecosystem builders, Idris Bello continues to embody the great Ife spirit, fusing local ingenuity with global impact and inspiring a new generation of Afropreneurs to innovate without borders in an IAI-driven world. So, I present to you Idris Ayodeji Bello, the Afropreneur. Please. Sound innovation, please. Thank you so much.
Good morning. Can we see the slides clearly? Do they need to put on the party lights? Okay. So we'll get started. Hello, good Ife. Louder. So I would like to start on a very good Ife note. With that thing that we have that no other school has. I know we have done it before, but it's never enough. So we'll start with the OAU anthem. Great Ife, yeah? Great Ife, great Ife, Africa's most beautiful campus. Conscious, vigilant, progressive, a luther against all oppression. Forward ever, backward never, for any culture, sports and struggles. Great Ife, great, I love you. There's only one great Ife in the universe. Another great Ife is a counterfeit. Great Ife. Of the greatest Ife. Of the most articulate Ife. Bogo. So on that note, let me begin with protocol. Okay. So on that note, let me begin with protocol. Good morning, Mr. Vice Chancellor, Professor A.S. Bamire, the chairman of this occasion, Professor T.A. Kuku, our special guest of honor, Alhaji Abdul Kabir, the Deputy Vice Chancellors, one of whom, Professor Solade Romu, who is the DVC Academics, was my project supervisor 23 years ago. The Dean of the Faculty of Technology, Professor L.E. Umoru, distinguished principal officers of this great university, heads of department, members of faculty, the local organizing committee, led by Professor Osi, and also my good friend, Professor Bayopo, who was very instrumental to me making this trip. Alumni, especially many of my old classmates who have flown all the way to be here with us this morning, despite the situation of the Ibadan Ife Road, and many more who have chosen to join online. Our dear students and esteemed guests, good morning. I am deeply honored by this invitation and sincerely thank the organizers of this biennial lecture for deeming me worthy to deliver the 2025 edition. Over the past 2 decades, since my graduation from this campus, I have been privileged to speak at many universities and conferences around the world. None has meant more to me than this moment, because today, I am home. This is the first time my alma mater, and indeed my beloved Faculty of Technology, has invited me to share a few words. I am profoundly grateful. Standing before you, I feel both humbled and nostalgic. Many of you here once taught me, and perhaps graded some of my less than perfect assignments. Professor Luwanti, I see you. Professor Koya, I see you. And to be honest, I sometimes feel like an imposter among so many professors and academics, while my title remains proudly Mr. A source of mild consternation to my late father, Alhaji Awala Bello, who often wondered why I pursued 3 master's degrees instead of a single PhD. So permit me to say that my talk today will be less of an academic lecture and more of a storytelling journey, interactive, reflective, and personal. Okay, I'll keep going. At the homecoming, my story, and indeed my family's story, cannot be told without this campus. And I welcome my former supervisor, my teacher, the DVC academics, Professor Shola Aderomu, who is standing in for the Vice Chancellor himself. Baba, we are grateful. We visited him this morning. He's been very, very busy, but we acknowledge him finding the time to grace this occasion. Thank you very much. So I'll proceed. The thing with technology is, in line of our work, technology fails, you still have to go on. So the homecoming, my story, and indeed my family's story, cannot be told without this campus. Our family's link to Ife is generational. Since this inception, there has hardly been a time when a member of the Bello family was not here as a staff, student, or faculty member. It began with my late uncle, Alhaji A.A. Bello, who joined this university at its founding in 1962. So probably called Baba Adini of the Muslim community. He joined this university in 1962 and served until his retirement in 1991 at both the Ezekiel Oluwasomi Library and the DSA. I have several pictures of him with Professor Ajose, with Professor Oluwasomi, all the founding fathers of this university. And he served until 1991 here. Then next came my dad, Alhaj Ola Bello, who entered OAU, then University of Ife, in 1967 to study agricultural science. Graduating in 1971 along distinguished names like Professor L. Okainde, Professor Bayo Akinde. They were all classmates here at Ife. He later started his career at the University Library here before moving on in 1979 to establish the Federal Polytechnic Ilaro Library in 1979. Since then, it has become almost a family tradition, indeed a rite of passage to attend Ife. From people like Dr. Musadik Bello to Professor Surua Bello, members of our family have not only studied here, but they have taught here. And true to family tradition, most of us have also married from Ife. So we went home not just with a degree, but also with a missus. So when it was my turn to choose a university in 1997, there was no debate. It was either Ife or Ife. The only topic was, what department do you want to study in? And as an aside, people asked me, how did I choose computer engineering? I spoke to different people, and it said civil engineering, you have to be in the sun. You know, computer engineering, you always have to be where there is an AC. Because the computer has to be kept cold. And I chose computer engineering, and I have not regretted it. So when I was admitted to Ife, my dad gave me just one advice, one instruction. He said, Idris, or when I get into trouble, he calls me Ayodeji. You know, when I hear him call Ayodeji, I know it's serious matter. So he said, Ayodeji, I finished from Ife in 1971 with a second class. If you go to Ife, spend 4 or 5 years, and come back with a second class, you have not improved on my record. So I knew from day one I was going to get a first class. And for my first semester, I had a 4.97, second semester, a 5.0. And alhamdulillah, I kept it up till I graduated with a first class. So thus, I finished with a first class in computer engineering in 2002, and many of my lecturers are here, and I'm grateful for that. So to stand here today is more than delivering a lecture. It is coming full circle. It is returning home to the place that taught us that greatness is not inherited, it is cultivated. It is returning to the soil that instilled in us that learning and culture are the twin wings of character. For learning and culture, that line in our anthem stirs something deep in me every single time. Because OAU was not just built to graduate engineers and scientists. It was built to engineer curiosity, to craft a people whose confidence in the world is anchored to us. Next, I will talk briefly about my time at Great Ife. I attended this school, this university, just over 20 years ago. Yet it feels like another lifetime. My first year on campus was the first time I ever saw or touched a desktop computer. I still remember my cousin, Dr. Musoli Bello, then was teaching here, and he bought a Pentium 1 computer with less than a gig of hard drive. Memory was probably 32 meg. And then he put me in front of the computer and said, use it. Then I lifted the mouse like this, to the air. I didn't know that you had to move the mouse on a flat surface. Again, I was moving like this, and the thing was not moving, right? But that was the first time. And by part 4, I was one of the very first people, along with my friend Tudi Aziz. When we came from our IT, we assembled our own personal computer, and we were one of the very few people in the hostel back then who had a personal computer. It was only 4 gig hard drive, and even then someone said, what are you going to do with all that 4 gig? You want to sleep inside? Because again, we didn't have all the data that you have right now, all the meg, right? There was no internet connection. There was nothing, right? But again, we use it for games, to type, and very basic things. And through Dr. Musoli Bello, who then worked under Professor G.O. Ajayi, the visionary who founded Inteco here in Ife, pioneered. I became one of the first students to use email. I can still picture that cramped office upstairs at OAU Net, a very small office on the third floor, on the topmost floor of the Faculty of Tech building. But somebody who will be there, I think it's Luwanti and a couple of other people were there then. And I would sit down with them and look at what they were doing. This was when internet was still plain text, no graphics, right? And sending a single email felt like a miracle. Because compared to other students, they were queuing downstairs. There was this baba there downstairs that people would pay money to actually check their email, print out the email. That was what things were like back then. I did not own a phone until after graduation on this campus. It was only during my NYC that I bought my first phone, and it was Nokia 3310. That brick. Nothing about data or anything. But you throw it on the floor, it bounces back up. So compared to today, when even a toddler, if you give them anything less than a small phone without a touch screen, they will reject it back to you. And those small phones that you hold in your hands, they are much more powerful than the desktops we had back then. That was the pre-internet, pre-smartphone, pre-AI age in which I studied computer engineering. And yet it was only some 20-something years ago, showing you how fast things change. From those humble beginnings, I began my own innovation journey from Great Ife to the global stage, building bridges that connect Africa's brilliance to the world. That, I believe, was the true gift of Great Ife. Ife does not just grant degrees. Ife taught us to think without borders. Even when the internet barely escaped beyond this faculty, we had what I like to call intellectual Wi-Fi, an invisible network of restless minds connecting across disciplines. Even in dark hostel rooms, thanks to NEPA, we will argue late into the night about a world we had not yet seen. Since leaving Ife, life has taken me through many corridors, from the labs of Post in Ibadan to the halls of the University of Oxford, where there is a college called New College, and that new college is over 1,000 years old, and it is new because it is the newest college there. I've gone from the innovation hubs of Lagos and Cairo to the venture capital boardrooms in Houston and Tokyo. And through it all, one truth endures: ideas that move the world rarely begin in comfort. Ideas that move the world rarely begin in comfort. They begin in places like this, where dreamers learn to fix the generator before fixing the bugs in their code. Ingenuity, I learned early, is not imported. It is forged, often in scarcity. It is born when a student in our lower hall has only a few hours of electricity, but still writes code by candlelight, ready to run it at the computer center at dawn here, because he only has 30 minutes to use on the computer. That is the spirit I saw here. And it is that same spirit that has followed me across continents. Here at Ife, we learned to innovate, not because we had everything, but because we did not. We learned to improvise, to adapt, to build with what we had, and sometimes to build because we had nothing. An African proverb says, the palm tree does not complain about the sun, it uses it to sweeten its fruit. Likewise, we must use our environment, not lament it, to build what matters. Every journey I have taken since then, every venture I have started, with Innovation Hub, Afropreneur Angels, Lofty in Capital, has been an extension of that philosophy. Build with what you have, where you are, and with whom you are. Looking back, I see that every opportunity I seized, every scholarship, every risk, every venture was watered by the roots my father planted, the faith my family modeled, and the resilience that Ife instilled in me. Education for me was never about escaping poverty. It was about fulfilling purpose. And then I will go on to life since Great Ife. Every so-called overnight success, as I like to remind our founders, takes at least a decade of quiet construction. I did not just leave Ife and start hanging out with Bill. I call him on first name terms now, Uncle Bill, right? For the younger ones, that's Bill Clinton, our former president of the US. My own path after Ife has been anything but linear. It has been a wide road of experiments, detours, failures, and rediscoveries, from engineering to enterprise, from curiosity to conviction, from thinking with small ideas to helping others scale theirs. When I left Great Ife in 2002, with a degree in engineering, the world of AI, artificial intelligence, was still a whisper. I had planned to continue in wireless networking, building undergraduate projects in wireless ATM under Professor Aderomu, but life had other plans. In 2004, during my master's degree in computer science and practical physics at the University of Houston, I stumbled into the world of data mining and machine learning. I joined a data mining group under Professor Villalta, who was coordinating particle physics experiments with Professor Busnitsin at MIT and statistical modeling with Professor Paul Padley at Rice University. 3 schools, 3 disciplines, 3 time zones. My nights were long and my mind stretched thin. One moment, studying leptons and quarks. The next, wrestling with probability density functions and base classifiers, all while learning to code in new languages I'd never seen before. It was baptism by fire and by curiosity. Somewhere in all that chaos, my dissertation took shape with a rather intimidating title, Non-Parametric Density Approximation Technologies Applied to Signal Detection in Particle Physics, a preliminary design of a multivariate data analysis toolbox for the Fermilab Virtual Collider, USA, and the Large Hadron Collider in Geneva. When I read that title even now, I laugh. Not just because of the complexity, but because it reminds me of how true discovery often starts with confusion. That experience taught me something very crucial and enduring. The borders between disciplines are man-made, but innovation lies in the intersections. Let me say that again. The borders between disciplines are man-made, but true innovation lies in the intersections. Quickly moving on. After graduating from my master's, and as a side story, I was actually working on my PhD because my professors loved me so much. And then one day, Chevron Corporation came with a sweet offer And I said, you know, the Yoruba says, Tabanwa ulo, takwade ilono, right? I told my professor, let me go and chase the money small. I'll come back for the PhD. I've never gone back. So after graduating in 2005, I joined Chevron USA. The story of how I got a job is one I always like to share, especially with young people. Again, I was in my lab, and usually on campus, what happens is the companies will come to campus when you're in final year, and they will shortlist candidates, and they will interview them. So I was in my lab, and I saw there was an Iranian lady who left the lab, and she said she was going for a reception with Chevron. And I said, they shortlisted you? She said, yes. How come they did not shortlist me? She said, I don't know for you. So after I saw her leave, I put in like 20 copies of my CV. I always had one suit hanging in my lab. Put it on, and then joined them at the reception they were having. Usually they will have a reception the night before the event. So I joined them at the reception. When I got to the gate, they said, we don't see your name here. I said, you made a mistake. My colleague is here. How come I was not shortlisted? Okay, if I come in, so we had the dinner, and I handed over my CV. Okay, we'll look through it tonight. If you are available tomorrow morning and we feel like inviting you, we'll let you know. What am I doing? So next morning, 8 a.m., I got a call and said, can you come for the interview? Of course. So I went there, shared my experiences, XYZ. So I passed the campus interview. Then they shortlisted us for a final interview on site at Chevron. So we got there, and very tough technical interview in the morning, and they said in the afternoon it's going to be more interactive interviews. I knew I didn't do too well on the technical one, right? Again, even though I did the first class year in computer engineering, those boys I met there, those Indians, they're another level. So I know I was not going to compete them on that. So morning went very well. So we had lunch time, right? And I saw everybody was greeting this tall white guy. So I asked them and said, who is that guy they are greeting? They said, that's Peter Bunick. And he's the CIO of Chevron and ATC. Okay, sure. I don't know what came over me. I stepped and I went to meet him and I said, hello, Peter. My name is Idris Bello, and I'm going to be working for you. The guy looked at me and said, when did we make that decision? I said, I decide where I work, and I like it here. Again, sometimes in life, all you need is audacity. What is the worst thing that will happen? Right? So, next thing he did, he opened his bag and took out a book there about, there was a soccer player who was Nigerian. And I said, do you know this guy? This guy. Truth to God, I've never heard of that guy before. But Nigeria, they carry last now. I said, that guy is well known at home. He's light. It's XYZ. I just moved it to talking about soccer generally. So we're just gisting everything and stuff like that. I heard that when they go back to after they finish interviews, they will get back as a committee to decide which candidates are we ranking, what's the technical performance, everything. So they got to the meeting and he said, I met one guy called Idris Bello and he's going to be working for me. And that was how my career at Chevron started. So again, sometimes all you need is audacity, all you need is courage. Don't care about your accent, don't care about anything, just go for it. What's the worst thing that can happen? Say no, Abi. As Africans, we're already used to no. As Nigeria, we wake up daily and it's no. No from NEPA, no from the road, no from everything. So that's already baseline. So just go ahead and do whatever you want to do. So quickly moving on, then how did I then move on from being an engineer at Chevron, spent several years, Chevron USA, Angola, Brazil, all over the place, deploying solutions to them. So 5 years later, I was with Chevron. I was leading upstream global tech for them. But something was still restless with me. I wanted to move beyond just deploying systems to building them. I wanted to stay connected back to the continent and solve problems, from consuming innovation to producing it. So I decided to enroll in an MBA at Rice University. So I went for an executive MBA at Rice. It was paid for by Chevron. And that was the first time I encountered the world of tech startups. I joined a new venture called Libraries Across Africa in 2010, which was founded to democratize access to educational content across the continent. In 2011, we won the Dell Technology Innovation Award. We got funded by Dell and the World Bank. But unfortunately, a few years later, the startup failed. But again, as with all things, as with all meaningful failures, it planted a seed, one that would later grow into my passion for building ecosystems that outlive ideas. In 2010, around the same time, I visited Lagos for a program called the Nigerian Leadership Initiative, NLI. And what I found shocked me. I found a vibrant and restless population, mobile phones everywhere, but there was no startup ecosystem. There was no CC hub, no Yaba, no impact hub, nothing. Just a few tech gardens that we have. There was something called Mobile Monday. Incidentally, it was run by 2 OAU alumni. I think Emmanuel Oluwatosin, who finished from Elect, and also Adeyemi Afowe, who also finished from here. But that trip changed everything for me. Because I went back to Houston, gathered a few like-minded Nigerians, and said, we need to do something about this. We need to transfer some of the lessons we have learned in the tech space in the US back home. And so in 2010 July, we founded something we call Innovation Hub. And it from the idea that innovation represents the primacy of the individual. So we place the I in innovation with a we, meaning collaboration, meaning doing things together. We didn't have any funding. We got a few second-hand laptops. We got a temporary office in Lagos through a partnership with the African Leadership Foundation, funded by former President Obasanjo. And we had a lot of ambition. Our vision was very simple: to turn students into entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs into employers. Even when we founded our company, the name Lofty Inc. came from the idea of how do you turn lofty ideas into incorporations? Because at the end of the day, that's all we're here to do. So quickly, what began as a small idea grew into a movement. Innovation Hub became a magnet for young dreamers who would later on build some of the most successful startups in Africa. But it also taught me something deeper. Innovation does not thrive in isolation. You need angels to back them, you need funds to scale them, and you need policies to protect them. So in 2012, I co-founded the Lagos Angel Network, along with the likes of Mr. Dr. Sulaiman of Accenture, Tommy Davis, and several others. And later in 2012 also, I founded the Afropreneurship Angel Syndicate, because I realized that we did not just need spaces for innovation, we also needed to fuel this innovation. And I started writing checks myself for my retirement, for my pension fund, believing that even small checks, small capital, could unlock big potential. And that was the birth of what I now call my Afropreneurship journey, a term that will later define my life's work. The first time I used the term Afropreneur, it was almost accidental. I was trying to describe a new kind of entrepreneur, an African, one who blends hustle with heritage, business with purpose, someone who builds products for the world, but stays rooted in local realities. And in 2012, CNN profiled me and the concept, calling Afropreneurs bright, independent, and tech-savvy Africans, using creativity and innovation to take charge of their economic destiny. But to me, Afropreneurship was more than a label. It was a mindset. It meant refusing to let your geography define your possibilities. It meant believing that talent was universally distributed, even if opportunity is not. And our job is to close that gap between talent and opportunity. So I started making investments, writing small checks over Skype. There was no Zoom then. So I was meeting founders on Skype and writing checks and losing a lot of money. And I'd like to say that my early investments were very expensive lessons. In those early years of angel investing, I learned humility the hard way. And I call that phase of my life getting my LLM degree. LLM is not Master of Laws. It's not large language model. It's learning by losing money. Because I would meet some of these entrepreneurs on Skype. I would wire a check of $10,000 to them, and they would disappear, literally. There are people I gave $50,000 and I've not seen up to today, 15 years later. But again, I was learning through doing this. One of my earliest checks went to a company called Hot Bay in the real estate space. A startup founded by an OAU alumnus, Olatunji Owolabi from the Elect department. That company did not survive, but one of his team members, who is also another alum of Elect from here, went on to found a company that you all know now called Thematic. Femi Aluko, right? Finished from here. He was part of the company that failed, but he learned enough lessons to build a new company that is now pretty big. Now one of Nigeria's hottest food delivery startups. And that is the beauty of ecosystems. Even failed startups can plant seeds for future successes. Another turning point came for me in 2011, 2012, when I met a young man, a 19-year-old Nigerian student, who was then at the University of Waterloo, a young man that people now know as Iyin Aboyeji, the founder of Flutterwave, Andela, and several on. When I met him, he was still a third-year student like many of you here, looking at what to do after school. He kept on bouncing ideas with me through an alliance I was part of called the Arambe Entrepreneurs Alliance, a fellowship of young Africans passionate about building solutions for the continent. I remember reading a 2011 interview he had granted Bella Niger, and he said, "The entrepreneurial lifestyle definitely appeals to me. I hope I can change the world by making products people cannot live without. We are coming. Nigeria is coming. Young people are coming." He said this in 2011 at the age of 19 as a third-year student. His clarity and audacity struck me, and I knew I was going to back him. So in 2012, I invested in his next venture called Fora, which involved into the company now called Andela, that many of you know, the company that would later redefine how the world views African talent. Andela's thesis was very simple but radical. Brilliance is universally distributed, but opportunity is not. From Lagos to Nairobi, from Cairo to Kigali, Andela proved that African developers could build world-class software for global companies. Today, Andela connects talent from over 135 countries, has been valued at over $1.5 billion, and counts alumni across every major tech hub on earth, including dozens from Great Ife. And it proved one thing: Africa's greatest export is not minerals, it is talent, creativity, and innovation. And from there, I moved on from just being a builder to being an investor. Because with Innovation Hub, Afropreneur Angels, and a dozen of startup experiments I got involved with, I realized my role had to evolve from builder to enabler, from success to significance, from founder to funder. That realization led in 2017 to the creation of Lofty Inc. Capital, a platform designed to institutionalize early-stage investing across Africa and the diaspora. Our first fund was very tiny by global standards, but enormous in conviction. We called it the Entrepreneurial Fund because we were not just investing in companies, we were investing in a movement. We believed African founders deserved more than capital. They deserved companionship. Investors who understood their content, not just their cap tables. Partners who could walk beside them, not ahead of them. And so over the years, Lofty Inc. has grown from that tiny idea, from a small diaspora syndicate, into a multi-fund platform, managing hundreds of millions of dollars across 25 African countries today. Today, our portfolio includes over 200 startups, from Andela to Move, from Wave to Flutterwave, 4 of which have reached unicorn status, valued at over $1 billion each. But beyond the numbers, what I am most proud of is the culture we have built. One that values trust over trend, governance over glamour, and partnership over power. Because at its heart, Afropreneurship is not just about funding innovation, it's about fueling belief. Believe that African ideas can shape the world. And that when we invest with purpose, we do not just create wealth, we create legacy. And as a Muslim who grew up between cultures, I've always believed that ethical finance is not an obstacle to innovation. It is an enhancement. Our faith traditions, zakah, which means obligatory alms giving, amana, which means trust, and khilafa, which means stewardship, remind us that returns without responsibility is not development, rather it is decay. So when we build the Lofty Inc. Alpha Fund, our latest and most institutional vehicle, we brought together development financial institutions like the IFC, the World Bank, sovereign wealth funds of Nigeria, Egypt, Tunisia, and Saudi, and Japan, and as well investors under one principle: purpose and profit must coexist. In venture capital, every clause you sign is a vote for the kind of ecosystem you want to leave behind. And for us, that ecosystem is one where innovation uplifts communities, not just valuations. And we ask ourselves of every deal we invest in, does it dignify the people it touches? Does it align with the values we can explain to our children? Does it strengthen our ecosystems or hollow them out? That to me is the essence of Afropreneurship. Building not just ventures, but virtue. And for those who are very close to me, they know what I'm renowned for beyond investing, and it is Amala. To the extent that I went on a search for Amala in Tokyo, and I found it. It only took 13 trains to find it, and 3 days, but I found Amala in Tokyo. So I have what I call the Amala Ngbegiri principle. Amala is healthy and grounded, which represents local insights. Ewedu is smooth and cosmopolitan, which represents global exposure. When you blend both with a slight touch of Gbegiri, you get harmony, strength, and identity. Then when you now add roundabout, anti-nueron, right? And all those assortments to eat. That to me, my friends, is the recipe for Afropreneurship. That will remain grounded in local realities, enriched by global experience, and bound together by purpose. Because innovation without borders must begin with identity without apology. Innovation without borders must begin with identity without apology. And that brings me to the core of our topic today: innovation without borders in an AI age. Because the world has gone truly borderless. When I graduated from IFE 20 years ago, innovation still had an address. Today, it carries a passport, stamped everywhere, but owned by no one. And you saw that when ChatGPT came out, within a few weeks or months, DeepSeek came out in China, right? And you've seen things, and that is the idea these days. Nobody has the right to innovation anymore. A developer in Osogbo can now build an app for a startup in Dubai. A design student in Ibadan can collaborate in real time with a team in Toronto. The world now rewards contribution, not location. The world now rewards contribution, not location. Okay. Innovation without borders stands on 3 enduring pillars. The first one is talent without borders. That is collaboration that ignores geography. The second one is capital without borders. Finance that blends faith, diaspora, and purpose. And the third one is context without borders. Innovation that is proudly local, yet globally relevant. These are not slogans. These are realities unfolding before our very eyes. When Flutterwave powers Uber's payments across continents, when Move finances drivers in 15 cities across 4 continents, including driverless cars in the USA. I was in San Francisco a couple of months ago, and I took a drive in a driverless car. I sent a video to my mom, and she said, Ayodeji, kilo tun se yi. Because there was no driver in the car. All you had to do was put on the app, it came in, opened the door, you got in, it took you everywhere. If someone would come in front of it, it would break. It was safer than a normal car. And now across California, Texas, way more. You know what's more interesting? The management of that software, of the hardware of the company, is handled by a company called Move, which was founded by two Nigerians, Ladi and Jide. So when you Google Waymo now, you will see Move, the company called Move Africa, founded by two Nigerians, is one handling the maintenance of all those driverless cars. And that is the power of what you can do, regardless of where you are and where you are from. So when Andela Engine in Lagos built software used in San Francisco, that is innovation without borders, alive and breathing. So let me talk about the pre-AI revolution. Because before we talk about AI, about how Africa leapt before it looked. Because before artificial intelligence, Africa had already mastered intelligent adaptation. When others were building landlines, we were building mobile networks. When others perfected bank with branches, we were building mobile money. We did not wait for permission, we leapfrogged. Kenya gave the world better. Nigeria birthed Paystack and Flutterwave. Ghana built Farmerline. And Egypt launched Karim and Maxab. These were not copy and paste models. They were contextual revolutions. Problems solved with proximity, empathy, and creativity. Between 2015 and 2024, venture funding in Africa grew from under $200 million to over $3 billion annually. And the lesson was clear. Africa's superpower is contextual innovation. Seeing problems very deeply, solving them very elegantly, and scaling them globally. Now we live in the world of AI. That even things are not AI, people say it's AI. So we stand at the edge of another leap, the age of artificial intelligence. A technology not just of efficiency, but of possibility. So people usually ask me and say, Idris, Afropreneur, will AI replace us? And I tell them no. But those who use AI will replace those who do not use AI. So AI will not replace us. But those who use AI will replace those who don't. Just as the same way, 20 years ago when we came in, there were typewriters all over the place. Right? Computers have not replaced us. But those who use computers have replaced those who don't use computers. Very simply. So across Africa, AI is already reshaping how we think, how we learn, how we work. In Kenya today, farmers are using AI-powered models to predict rainfall, to plan their planting seasons. In Nigeria, startups like Omni Retail and Sabi are using machine learning to map the vast open-air markets across the country that power our informal economy. In Morocco, we have a startup called EcoDeep that reads medical scans with almost near-doctor precision, helping doctors to reach patients faster. And elsewhere, we have a startup called FitMatch that will take just 4 photos of you and use that to transform your health, your retail, and even your sports activities. This is no longer science fiction. This is science fulfillment. AI is helping us to solve problems that even Silicon Valley cannot imagine because our context breeds creativity. And that really is the opportunity we have with AI, also the caution with AI. Because AI has a promise, but it also has its own dangers. The promise is that AI can make healthcare more accurate, can make farming more productive, can make education more personal, can make finance more inclusive. You can diagnose malaria just from a phone image. You can imagine AI tutors that will teach you chemistry in Yoruba, Igbo, and Hausa. You can imagine the traffic in Lagos finally moving because you have predictive models that can resolve the go-slow. So there are very great things regarding AI. But there's also a big peril we must not pay attention to. The first one is brain drain. Because today our brightest AI talent is being hired abroad faster than we can train them. Because even in the US, you have a big AI war, right? You can see from Microsoft to Meta, you are paying AI talent as if they are paying footballers, right? Bonuses and the rest. And it's not limited by geography. If you have an AI guy today who is AI, who's smart, they will hire him right there. The guy who just left, was it OpenAI right now? 23-year-old guy, right? So again, tomorrow they can come and pick Professor Aderomu here, right, and transform him to Silicon Valley. And Uber did that. Uber went to a school in California, USC, and took 25 professors to go and build their self-driving cars. They woke up one day and no professors left there anymore. So, Prof, you're not going anywhere. Again, it's a real threat, right? It's also about data colonialism, and we need to pay attention to this. If AI has never seen Oshodi Market, if AI has never had Yoruba proverbs, if AI does not know the difference between Ogun war, Ogun inheritance, Ogun medicine, how can it understand our world? And if our health data stays locked, written on those green paper and blue paper, and locked in dusty cupboards at OHHC, how can an AI read that data? It doesn't even know it exists, right? So how will the next generation of models and medicines and vaccines learn to serve us fairly? It's a very important topic. Also, infrastructure gaps. Today, the US and China and India are spending billions on data centers, right? On energy to power data centers. But we don't even have power, right? We lack broadband. We lack compute access. And so we stand at the danger of today's digital divide becoming even larger. So as I like to remind government officials when I meet with them, and luckily one of us now is the Minister of ICT, Bosun, the founder of CC Hub. When we remind policymakers, we say, if Africa does not own the servers of the future, it will again rent its destiny by the hour. If Africa does not own its servers of the future, it will again rent its destiny by the hour. So it is imperative on us that we must reclaim our agency in an AI world. We must teach AI to speak what I call African. Because here lies both our moral and strategic superiority or opportunity. Africa today holds the world's youngest and most linguistically diverse population. Over 2,000 languages, thousands of idioms, and millions of untold stories. That is the richest training data set on earth. If AI is to understand humanity, it must learn from Africa. Because that's the source. But that will not happen by default, only by design. We must teach machines our values, our community, our empathy, our resilience. We must encode our own stories, our languages, and our ethics. Because algorithms without empathy are very dangerous. And intelligence without integrity is shallow and hollow. Or to put it even more plainly, if we do not write Africa into the code of the future, we will once again be written out of it. And so we need to have a new playbook. We need to become more aware. Our professors, our deans, our DVC, our VCs need to play a huge role in where Africa goes on this topic. Because we need to reclaim our place in this new age. And that is going to require more than awareness. It's going to require a new playbook. We must fundamentally redefine and rethink three things. The first one is technology. We must tailor our tools to real problems. I was reading some of the foundational literature around the starting of this school, and it said it was being started to solve problems of the communities. And so if we ask ourselves, 62, 63 years later, if there are problems in our locale that this university and the faculty are not solving, then we're not doing what is right. And that is the thing here. We must tailor our tools to real problems, not the other way around. Talent. We need to transform brain drain into brain circulation. They used to say brain gain. So meaning you go and you come back. These days you don't need to come back. Even where you are, you can support us here. You can be in Silicon Valley, you can be at Microsoft like Tony Aziz and be teaching cloud computing to students here in Ife. So you can turn brain drain into brain circulation. You don't need to even move location. The third one is what I call togetherness. Collaboration. We must turn closed silos into open ecosystems. Because this is the faculty of tech, faculty of computing, faculty of art, so you now become silos. Real discovery is at the intersection of all of this. You need philosophers in AI. You need artists. You need English majors. You need everybody in this. Because the next frontier of progress is not going to belong to the biggest or the fastest, but to those who are bold enough to innovate without borders. And that is going to take me to the core of this topic, which I'm going to address to the DVC, to the dean, and to the faculty and students here, which is how do we use home? What is Great Ife's mandate in the AI era? 63 years ago when it was created, it had a mandate. Today, the mandate must be renewed. As we say in the software world, any software that was created before 2023 is now obsolete because it is not AI native. We're just trying to adjust it to AI. People are rebuilding their software now to be AI native. So the students are going to train now have to be AI native. Unless those of us that are graduated before we saw the cell phone, people who come in now, they're already very familiar with the cell phone, right? That's the same thing. Students who come in now have to be AI native. So Great Ife has a renewed mandate, which I'm addressing to the faculty, to the administration, and to the students here today. Because from its founding, Ife has never been ordinary. It was born of courage and conviction. It was a response to the politicization of higher education. It was designed to fulfill and to fill critical gaps and to build the manpower of a new nation. And so when you see that Ife had the first faculty of pharmacy in West Africa, it had the first department of chemical engineering, and even the community-oriented curriculum for the medical school was later adopted by the WHO. So OAU has always shown what happens when learning meets culture, when vision meets action. Even when you look at the architecture of Ife, it is futuristic. It was an artistic statement in concrete and glass that whispered that can build its own destiny. Africa can build its own destiny. And indeed, it did. And if you look at our recent past and the achievements that the university has made and this faculty, okay. Even before the word startup was being used, this faculty was already nurturing innovators. We have the likes of Sir Aladekomo of Champs, whose son now is the founder of Tech Cabal, Tomiwa, one of Nigeria's earliest tech pioneers. You have people like Apoyemi Awoyemi of Jobaman, who finished from here, who redefined online. You have people like Tosin Enelonda of Money Point, who finished from mechanical engineering department. And you have people like Olamide at Touch and Pick, who finished also here from Electric, and they are the ones powering the carry card that's used on BRT buses in Lagos. Every time you see that carry card used on the train and the BRT, it's powered by an alum of this university. And of course, I spoke earlier about people like Chowdek. Also, for those of you who know Main One, Mrs. Funke also finished from here. So it has always been producing great people. So these are not accidents. These are the fruit of a system that has prized curiosity, courage, and discipline. But one thing we must not forget is that greatness is not a birthright. Now that you are great yesterday does not mean you are going to be tomorrow. So let us be serious with ourselves. I know we like to sing the anthem, Great Ife, but sometimes when you are by yourself, right, you have to ask yourself, are we still great? Because if today ChatGPT is going to go online and use available information to decide which universities are great in Nigeria today, are we on the ranking? If Times Higher Education is going to choose today, are we on the ranking? So yes, when we're outside there, we shut down the guys and the UI people, we shut them down. I know we're great Ife. But when we are, within ourselves, right, we need to talk to ourselves. How do we remain great? We're great yesterday. We are great today. Can we be great tomorrow? That is why we're here today. Every great institution must evolve from just storing knowledge to shaping transformation. Our challenge is to institutionalize greatness, to turn our sparks into structures, to nurture our inspiration into institutions. And as the world enters the AI age, this faculty and this campus can again should again and must again lead Nigeria and Africa. Not only in technology, but also in the ethics and humanity that must guide it. So permit me to share with you as I close a few action-oriented thoughts how we need to do this. They are what I call the 8 pillars for AI leadership. And I'll start with the first one, which is we need to rethink tech, and we need to be problem first and not tool first. We need to not fall in love with the tool, but fall in love with the problem, because tools will always change. When we were here, we were taught Fortran, COBOL. There was something called, all of these new languages. Today they are. So again, but if you understand the problem, you can always adapt the tools. An example I always give our founders and entrepreneurs is this. I say, if what you are good at is building the best mousetrap, one day the world may not need mousetraps anymore, and you're out of business. But if you understand that the problem is mice infestation, today you are building mousetraps. Tomorrow, if there's no mousetrap needed, you can buy Sole, right, from traffic and use it. You can use Indoseed. You can use gum. You can even call the Pied Piper to sing the rats out of town, because you're adapting, because you understand the problem. So when we're training engineers, it's not about the tools. It's about deep understanding of the problems that need to be solved. So because if you understand that the problem is the problem, then your imagination can expand. And that is the mindset that built companies like M-Pesa, Flutterwave, Andela, right? And many more. So for us, it's not about tool worship, but about problem intimacy. That is the essence of Great Ife's legacy. A culture of curiosity that refuses to copy, but insists on context. That's it. Sorry. Okay. So, second one is, we already have here the Center of Excellence, and I must praise the Vice and the DVC. I saw Professor Adeomu, who I knew was very involved in setting this up. This is amazing. What we have here is not common in most universities. So I must commend you for the work that has been done here. So now we have a Center of Excellence here, but we have to do more. How does it become the Center for AI in Africa? Now, it's not just about buildings. Today, it's not just about buildings. To remain at the frontier, IFE must evolve from just having centers of excellence to a center for applied AI and society. Mark my words, I don't just say AI, applied AI. It is not our job to do AI for the sake of AI. We have so many problems in this country that we need to solve. So it is the Center for Applied AI and Society, because it must be at the heart of everything we're doing. A hub where Africa's next generation learns not just to use AI, but to guide it with conscience. It will be housed within the faculty, but it must draw from philosophy. It must draw from linguistics. It must draw from law. It must draw from management sciences. Because it's not going to teach only code, but it must also teach context. You will have pillars like local language, training models that understand Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa, Pidgin English. Because language is not just communication, it is cognition. You talk about ethical AI, embedding African values, fairness, community respect, embedding the Omoluabi ethos in AI. Because the AI that applies to someone in Texas, cowboy country, is very different from the AI that applies to someone here. Again, if we do not encode these values into AI, we're going to raise children on this AI that are not going to share our values. Applied AI, we need to tackle real African, real Nigerian challenges. Traffic, energy, food security, financial inclusion. Policy and research. We need to build AI at this center and advise governments and startups on responsible AI. This faculty must become a place where algorithms can learn empathy, where our engineers write code that listens before it acts. We must design curricula that bless creativity, conscience, and conscience. We must have a system where an engineer can train a Yoruba language chatbot, where a linguist can help to preserve indigenous idioms through natural language processing. We must have a situation where a philosopher can sit beside a data scientist to debate the fairness of algorithms. That is how, for learning and culture, will become a 21st century mission. That is how the Faculty of Tech becomes a living lab, where every final year project tackles a real problem in power, in healthcare, in waste, in mobility, using AI as a tool, not as a trophy. And that takes me to the third one. We need to revive the town-gown connection, or what I call the IFE and the industry and the investor triangle. Across continents, I have learned that innovation thrives where universities, industry, and investors meet. And unfortunately for us, IFE is far away from town, right? So we have to bring town to IFE. Unlike places like Unilag, right, where you have surrounding commercial stuff, we have to be deliberate and do the work for us to thrive. At Rethinking Inc., we have always backed founders who had startups that began as student projects. That same pipeline can and should exist here in IFE. Just imagine with me, if every final year project in this faculty is reviewed by an industry partner. If you have an annual IFE innovation fair where students actually pitch to real investors, where alumni return not just to give speeches, but with grants, with mentorship and pilot. So we need to move as a university, as a faculty, from just graduating engineers to launching founders. We need to move from merely awarding degrees to building legacies. If Aluta Continua and my student union president is still there, MM, who is now a software engineer, so there's no Aluta in software anymore. So we need to move. So if our students, our slogan was Aluta Continua. Now as professors, as professionals, as faculty, our new slogan should be Innovatio Continua. And the same energy we brought to Aluta, to blocking the roads, to doing all those things, we need to bring it to innovation in this university. And that is how we're going to move forward. Okay, I think I'm ahead on my slide. Okay, yeah. So on the fourth one, and this is a very important one, because I can't serve as part of the diaspora. And for this trip, I asked several of my diaspora alumni also fly in. Today, as this flew in, MM flew in, and several others flew in for this, because we're committed to this. And so this one I'm talking about, and today as this finished from end 2002, and this is the first time back here on this campus in 23 years. So thank you for coming. I want to see you more regularly. So, but again, let me talk about how do we harness diaspora dividend? Because that is at the core of this. Universities always complain about not having enough funding. And I say that is not the problem. The problem is we do not show enough initiative. If you take the Department of Computer Science and Engineering alone, it was founded in 1980 or thereabouts. 70. Was what year? 1970. That's how many years, guys? That was before I was born. Good. Computer science is one course that if you do it anywhere, you will not be out of a job. There is nobody. We were 120 students in my department, in my class. There's not a single one who does not have a well-paying job because the industry is going to grow. So when you take number of years, 50 years, multiplied by about 100 students annually in just that department alone, that's without asking ChatGPT, what's that? Don't ask AI. What's that? 50 years, 100 students. So at least that department has 5,000 alumni. If only 10% of them are donating annually to the university, to the department, you have no right asking for funding from the university. But it takes initiative. It takes hard work. It takes even having a database of those alumni. If you don't know those who graduated from AI, you cannot ask them stuff. I hate to say this, but a few years ago, when someone became a minister, I got a call from this university saying, wait, is it a student? Can you ever check if it's a student? You don't know your students? So again, that's where you must start from. Because again, we must tap into the alumni dividend. We must tap into the diaspora dividend, right? But the African diaspora, the alumni, is not just a remittance machine. It's an intellectual gold mine. Because even beyond the money they can bring, is the opportunities they can bring to your students, to the faculty, to the university, right? Many of our alumni now work at Google, Amazon, Tesla, MIT, and OpenAI. Imagine if you had a virtual faculty of global mentors, right? Where alumni can be where they are and they can teach and supervise projects here in Ife from wherever they are. Just 1 hour a month from a diaspora mentor can ignite a lifetime of innovation in these students here. But collaboration requires systems and it requires humility. Collaboration requires systems and humility. If our transcripts remain analog, if our alumni databases remain buried, how do we connect? How do we collaborate? We must digitize our records. We must build consistent communication channels. And I have once proposed to a couple of HODs what I call the CET pathway for departments in dealing with alumni. So the CET pathway, C stands for communication. Today, if Bill Gates wants to donate $1 billion of his money to African universities, he's not going to call vice chancellor. You know what he's going to do? He's going to go on and look up the university and our departments. If our information is not current, if Covenant University has a better website than us, if the research is better profiled, that is where the money will go. So the communication starts with our web presence. It must be accurate, it must be timely, it must be up to date. It must be easy to navigate. If I cannot navigate your website on a mobile device, you are not ready. It must be mobile ready. Most of us use mobile devices, and yet our websites are optimized for the web. So that means you cannot even navigate easily. I must be able to find information to contact you. If I am Bill Gates and I need to contact the VC's office, you must be boldly there. I must be able to reach you. That's the first step. Departments must update their website. There are departments on that OAU website who still have HODs from 2022 there. Or even if someone is going to collaborate with them, they can't collaborate because they don't see up-to-date information. So that's where the C starts from. And today, people ask ChatGPT, they don't ask you. And if they go on there and ChatGPT don't find the relevant information, even though you know it, then it doesn't exist. And that's what the world is built upon, right? What's out there. We must deliberately put information about ourselves out there in the right manner and correctly. That's the C. Also, the C is this. If I am an alumnus and you just wake up one day and you say you need $10 million, if I have not heard from you in 20 years, why would I donate? After Ife, I have gone to 4 universities. Every one of them emails me at least once a month. There are some of them, university emails me, the faculty emails me, department emails me. They're not asking for money. Just like, this is what we are doing. This is what our students are doing. We have just won this award. We have done this, XYZ. The day they ask for money, they don't have to beg me to give money. But if you are not engaging your alumni, you can just ask them. And I propose to people, just make it a quarterly newsletter. That's only 4 times a year. Very simple. What have we done this quarter in departments? Our students, our faculty, research, our students won this award. They did this. What is not going well that you want to share? You need some things. As students are going on CWES, they need people to plug into. I don't ask for CWES next week. Ask a year ahead. 6 months ahead and say, you know what? In 6 months, we're going to have 200 students from this department that need to be placed. Right? So if you are doing that regularly, if it's only 10% of these 5,000 alumni that are applying, you will make progress. And the day you then ask for money, it just becomes so natural because they've seen what you are doing. They are engaged with you. They feel part of you. The last one is the T, and that's the difficult one. When someone graduates from this university, what is that one thing they will always need from here? Transcript. Alumni here, have you ever tried getting an OAU transcript? Your mucus will come from the right to the left. We have to tell ourselves the truth here. My other universities, all I go is on their website, pay some money, and it just gets sent to the university to there. Ife was not the same. I sent lecturers, I sent people. We're in an AI world. Digitize it, make it easy, make it even we have to pay for it. Again, and I welcome my father-in-law, who has driven all the way from Lagos, the Okoloma of Epe, the former commissioner for fiscal planning in Lagos State, architect Anifowoshe. Thank you for driving all the way. So we must tell ourselves those without truth, right? That's why I'm here. We want to engage as alumni, but if I, as a member of the alumni, cannot get my transcripts and lose opportunities, lose scholarships because of that, you cannot ask me to donate. I will not respond. So again, there's no reason why anybody who has finished, I finished in 2002, 22 years ago, 23 years ago. There's anybody in my set should not be able to get their transcript in a week. It should already be there digitized, right? Even if we have to charge us alumni to digitize it, charge us. But do it, right? Very, very important. So if you do just these three CET, communication, engagement, and transcript, and maybe after this, you don't call me again. But today, I will say it. I will say what I want to say. So, because that is what Ife taught us, to be bold wherever we are, no matter how small. If you work in a company and there's only one Ife student there, and there are 50 other people there, the Ife person will be loud. Even an SU who comes here or an MSS will still be loud, because it is great Ife. We tell ourselves the truth, right? Very important. If we want to retain our greatness, we must make our alumni happy. If we make our alumni happy, they will make us happy. Because again, Ife has produced immense number of amazing people. Just in my classes alone, I know people can do amazing things. But if they have not been able to get transcripts and lots of opportunities, you cannot even start talking to them. They don't know what's going on in the department. You cannot even help. So very, very important. So when we do this, then the alumni network will truly come alive again. Not only at anniversaries, but in everyday innovation. And that takes me to the fifth one. And what I call cultural or Afrocentric design thinking. If we teach 21st century students with 28th century methods, we will graduate citizens for the 19th century. We're going to go back. If we teach 21st century students with 28th century methods, we will graduate citizens for the 19th century. Your students are going to compete globally. You cannot say, okay, because if it is how we do it. The industry is what determines, right? It's what you determine what you teach them. If you want to insist on teaching them 20 years ago, like I said, when I was in Ife, there was no internet, there was no cell phones. You're going to reduce your teaching to things I only learned then. RJ45 cable, and all of those things. Then you cannot compete today. There was no cloud computing. There was no Google when I was here. Just imagine that. So again, the kind of curriculum we infuse in our students matters a lot for the industry. Because it's how your graduates perform in industry that determine whether it remains great. Not just the buildings. They're beautiful, no doubt. But if your graduates are competing for a job at Microsoft, and for every one Ife person, you have to for confidence. Then what that tells them is that confidence is better than Ife. Simple. So it is through your products that they determine and define the greatness of your university. So our roles as lecturers need to change. Back in those days, you could come to your notes, could use the same notes your own lecturer back in those days and teach. It doesn't apply anymore. There's nothing you're going to teach those students that's not already online. Back then, we only had 2 copies of Alida and Rethinking in the library. And we'll go and queue to use it. And those that were not so smart, we'll leave it for the smart people to go and do the research. Then they will teach us. And they will get better grades than they did. So, but again, today, they all have these textbooks. They even have videos on all these courses. There's nothing you're going to teach. If you make a mistake in class, they will know. Unlike that, they wouldn't know. If you say it is O, we say it is O. Today, they will just ask instantly, right? So, which means your role as lecturers has to change from being teachers to becoming guides. We may become guides. We must become curators. You curate what they need to learn. You don't have to be the one who knows it. It might be known by a textbook, by a video, by an alumni, right? You have to get to a situation where there should be no course you are teaching that doesn't have alumni input. So if you're teaching someone cloud computing, get to the assist from Microsoft and let him spend 2 hours at the end of the course teaching them about real life cloud computing. Get someone from AWS, right? That is how you engage in this one. You guide them to where the knowledge is, right? Because today, knowledge lives online, but wisdom still lives here. Let me say that again. Today, knowledge lives online, but wisdom still lives here with the faculty. And so your roles must evolve to become curators and guides, not lecturers, not teachers. Every classroom should become a mini accelerator. Professors should become mentors. Assignments should become prototypes. Grades should become growth metrics. It's not about failing you. How do you improve? How does this meet the industry? When you look at that, this student you are producing is almost like a startup. Your goal is to have him grow, not to have him die. You don't get your credit from how many F's you issue out. Right? A is for God, B is for C. because when you do that, you are not punishing the student. You are punishing the greatness of the university. Because you will not see another mushroom university there that will graduate 21 first-class students. And if I will say, I only have one, or this, excuse me, Mr. H, Mr. VC, this year there was no graduates in my department, or there was no, no first class. You are punishing the greatness of this university. Because the guy, I'll give you a very small story. I finished with the first class, but in one course, operating systems, I had a C. I won't go to the details of that. I called for my paper here. He said, let it go, so I let it go. Because it did not affect my GPA. So I got to US, and they were looking through my grades, and they said, you had a C. For them, a C is a failure. They made me retake the course. So I was doing my master's, and they made me to retake an undergraduate course. And then when we got to the first exam, they said it is open book. Open book. Something I will memorize the stuff in open book. I only took in one sheet of paper, just summary. I had 100 out of 100 in that course. So yeah. So, but again, you are not penalizing the student. You are penalizing So again, it's very important, right, that we engage with that mindset that our products, our students, our outcome, we are going to be measured about them. So how good your products are outside, how well they are doing, how well they understand the class, it is how you are measured, not the other way around. Which is why in the US, they don't mark from 0 up. They mark from 100 down. So you have to have been stupid not to even to fail. Because you start from 190 and you come down. And at the end of each semester, you grade your professors. So the students actually have an input into your own salary, into your own promotion. So if you're the one who doesn't show up in class, it will show up there. So if you want to become a university for the AI age, not by my mouth, we have to change everything in how we teach, how we engage these students. They are not people to be punished. Again, secondary school was for that. In the universities, these are young men and women. Because you cannot be mean to me as a professor, as a teacher for 5 years, and I finish and I come and build a building here. You get what I'm saying? I want the money elsewhere. So they are greatest effect. Am I vibrating? It's true. Again, 5 years, your job is to nurture them. Is to help them grow to see the world through your own eyes. Again, like I said, knowledge is out there. What you can give them is wisdom, because they don't know where to look and what to avoid, the perils, the wisdom. And so, as parents, as that is our job here. And when we do that well, these people will remember this university with fun. And you will not have to beg them to come back and support the university. So, as I was saying, before I got derailed, yeah. So, imagine a capstone where one student builds a Yoruba speech model. Another one designs sensors for climate smart farming. Another one codes a privacy first tech tool. All supervised by mentors from industry, from academia and policy. That is borderless talent cultivation, where classrooms then double as launch pads. Lastly on this, beyond design thinking, we must teach cultural thinking. Our engineers must not just ask, can it work? The question is, will it work in Osogbo? Will it work in Akure? Because if you build something that can only work in Silicon Valley, it's of no use to us. So will it work in our villages? That is Afrocentric AI. Tech that understands the rhythm of Lagos traffic, the tone of Yoruba poetry, and the patience of the Nigerian bank queue. That is what we're building. Quickly moving on, we're going to talk about how do we foster ethical innovation. Because in our rush to innovate, let us not lose our soul. We let over the past 20 years of living here, we are one with different gifted people. And you see people struggle with, you see people committing suicide, even with all the achievements they've had. So it shows you life is more than monetary success or achievement. It goes beyond that. So, in our rush to innovate, Let us not lose our soul. Our forebears, our founding fathers, built this university on the twin ideas of learning and character, learning and culture. Even though we used to joke back then, when we had a lot of strikes, that you spend 2 weeks in school, then you go home and spend 2 weeks. So for learning and culture, 2 weeks here for learning, 2 weeks back home for culture. But I heard that we don't have many strikes anymore. But anyways, in Yoruba we say, Iwalewa. Character is beauty. As Lottie Inc., we are very passionate about faith-aligned investing with deliberation, with niyyah, with intention. Progress must never come at the expense of principle. Progress must never come at the expense of principle. We must build systems that not only optimize profit, but also elevate human dignity and African values. Then the seventh one, Great Ife's alumni are among the most dynamic entrepreneurs and investors of the continent. I've met them every single where. They work in our companies, we have backed them. So that is not in doubt. It is now time to channel that into a formal venture fund. Imagine an OAU innovation fund, seeded by alumni and matched by corporate partners. Professionally managed, backing startups that are born from this campus each year. That is how Stanford proud Silicon Valley. Why not OAU? Let Great Ife not just produce graduates, but unicorns. And in that right, if you're a student and I'm not listening to anything I've said today, listen to the next thing I say now. Just yesterday, the federal government announced up to 50 million grants to individual entrepreneurs in and above in Nigerian universities. Bookmark this website. Check the requirements and give it a try. Don't be pessimistic and say, you want to be given to those who they know. That is not the Great Ife spirit. Why? The website is svcg.education.gov.ng. If you're in 200 level and above, apply. Look at the requirements there and apply. You get $50 million, $50 million, that's about $5,000. That's enough to even start, something. If you're a professor too, find one of your junior students to apply and collaborate with them. That's what people do abroad, right? You collaborate with the students to do it. But again, that's how you tap into this. You can see it's svcg.education.gov.ng. svcg.education.gov.ng. And then the final pillar, what I call the Innovation Without Borders Fellowship. To sustain all this momentum, we must institutionalize innovation itself by establishing an Innovation Without Borders Fellowship, an annual program for outstanding students and faculty who are solving real African problems with technology, with mentorship, and with collaboration. Their outputs, from startups to AI models to policy frameworks, will carry the OAU DNA, intellectual excellence, moral grounding, and cultural depth, so that the world can begin to say, when Great Ife innovates, Africa listens. And I'm committing work with the Faculty of Tech and the Faculty of Computing and on setting up the Afropreneurship Innovation Without Borders. A closing reflection. When I left this campus more than 2 decades ago, all I had was a dream and an email address. Today, look at my journey from then, from working at Procter & Gamble to moving to the US and doing my master's in particle physics and data mining, to working at Chevron, Exxon, and the Clinton Foundation, to start getting my from Rice, my MSc from Oxford, and several startups in between, and companies that have been founded. What I say is that I stand here today as proof that school no be scam. And that is very important for me. Because there are many of you here, because you are doing side hustles. You have learned one small programming language, you drop out of school, and you say Bill Gates also was a dropout. Which school did Bill Gates drop out of? No, he fell. Now Harvard though. And you don't know his parents. So again, the fact that you are making some small money should not stop you from facing your studies or dropping out. I see people who then have GPAs that 1.2. Why? when I look at it, no matter how good you are of a programmer, when I see that you graduate with a 1.1, it tells me you cannot multitask. It tells me you cannot stay with what you cannot commit to what you are doing. Because you are going to spend 5 years here and do not put the commitment into it. If I give you a job, you will not commit to it. You will do halfway and go on to something else. So what education is giving, it's not the number of the GPA that matters. People will say, people who have first class are being employed by people who have top class. I had the first class, I'm an employer. Today I had the first class is an employer. You should have the first class is an employer. Right? So school not be scam. So again, what we are not saying it's only first class that will take you there. But when we look at your GPA, it's not about the number, it's about the commitment. But you know what, this thing was difficult, but I pushed through. Because you're going to face difficult situations in the future. And that knowledge that you're going to be able to push through at IFE, what keeps you pushing through? Well, remember that we took fluid making exams here with candlelight at night. So when you now face things elsewhere, you say, you know what, I faced bigger issues and I succeeded. That is what your GPA does. You are pushed through. But when you now come to me and say, yeah, I'm a great coder, and you know what, by 1.1, there will be another great coder that have 5.0. So why should I choose you? So again, if you are here, you are not coming here, don't come here. But already in IFE, then push through. Then all these side hustles, how much are they paying you? They pay you $10 per hour. You think it's big. If I tell you how much today as this is and Microsoft, you open your mouth. Well, FIRS is watching, so I won't say it. So, but again, it's about being consistent. School not be scam. Put in the work. Do it well. Right? And then there will be even more things to do in the future. Very important. So today, I stand here as proof of what this university can produce. A spirit that refuses to be small. It was here that I learned confidence. That even from IFE, you can speak to the world and be heard. Let me end with a Yoruba proverb that has guided my journey. You do not ignore the root to cure the branch. As we chase artificial intelligence, let us not abandon human intelligence. As we chase artificial intelligence, let us not abandon human intelligence. Empathy, integrity, community. These are values that will always endure. Whether you know AI or don't know AI. And no matter how much AI you know, if you don't have those values, you will fail. So don't hide under ChatGPT or X and anything. These are values that have endured and will always endure. So as we chase AI, let us not abandon human intelligence. Empathy, integrity, and community. Great IFE was not built to follow trends. We were built to set them. The borders we must now cross are not the physical borders anymore. They are mental borders, they are moral borders. We must cross the border of low expectation. A philosopher said most people fail in life not because they aim too high and miss, but because they aim too low and they hit the target and they stay there. So you must cross the border of low expectations. You must cross the border of self-doubt. The one will doubt you. Why are you adding to them to helping them do their own work? Let them be the one doing the doubt. You stand firm. But if you're already self-doubting yourself, you're helping them do their own work. So you must cross the border of self-doubt. You must cross the border of waiting for permission. In this life, at PIG, they told us, you ask for forgiveness, you don't ask for permission. Because you ask for permission in life sometimes, and then you won't go anywhere. Sometimes you just go out there and do it. And it's okay, what did you do? Okay, do it like this. But you just wait for permission, sometimes you won't move from where you are. So you must cross the border of waiting for permission. And lastly, and this is very important for us as Nigerians, we must cross and overcome the border of non-cooperation with others. There's nothing you can do alone in life. And they say if you want to go fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go with others. Today, I brought my colleagues here because we live here together. We supported ourselves. Decided when from part 2 we're going to have a first lap and we had it. When in part 4, we said, you know what is our plan? We're going to go to the US to do a master's. We studied for GRE together, we applied for visa together, and 23 years later, our kids are even going to school together. Again, you go along with others. Because when you fail, someone else helps you. Very important, you cannot do it alone. No man is an for himself. And that's the beauty of university. What you're here to get is not just your degrees, it's the relationship you build here. It's the foundational relationship with people. There are people here who are going to be ministers tomorrow, who are going to be governors, who are going to be engineers, whatever it is. But it is those 4 or 5 years you spend together. And in our time, we didn't have the distraction of phones. So we are always with each other engaging. Today, you might be in a room with someone and you're not even talking to them. You don't even know their name because you're on your cell phone. important build those bonds right now because they will matter to you in the future. So from this fountain of learning and culture, let there arise a new generation, innovators who will ensure that the world does not just give AI to Africa, but that Africa gives its own unique AI to the world. And final words to the students, may your curiosity remain restless. Say amen. To the faculty, may your mentorship remain boundless. To the alumni, may your commitment remain timeless. And to Great Ife itself, may your greatness never become history. For learning and culture, Great Ife, forward ever, backwards never. Thank you very much.
Please keep clapping, keep clapping, keep clapping. Thank you for that inspiring lecture. Your point about application of knowledge really resonated with me. I'm now seeing things from a news perspective. I know that all of us have gained one or two things from this lecture. Thank you so much, sir. You are highly appreciated, sir.
We lay our crown and worship you. We lay our crown and worship you. Won't you bow in? Oh, bow me more.
Okay, sir. I would like to recognize the presence of Professor G.A. Aderomu, the DVC academic of this great institution, the only Agbarapo of OAU. You are welcome, sir. And a great mentor to many faculty members. Welcome, sir. So he's wearing two caps today. He'll be representing Agbarapo and will also be representing the VC today. So, sir, please. Can you step forward for the opening speech by the chief host? Please, let's honor him with our clap. Are we tired? Please don't be tired, though. We are just starting.
Don't be tired. There's going to be a lot of menu after this. There's going to be a lot of menu. Okay. Let me again congratulate the Faculty of Technology for this wonderful lecture. And let me also say that apology from the Vice Chancellor. Number one, that we have about 5 events today. And then the VC is not around. So I went through I played host to the Faculty of Technology around night. And then move on to BOC, Professor Yusuf Ali is around. Then from there, move back Flowo to chair another event. Coming back here now, another 5 minutes, I'm going to Ibadan to represent the university. So we want to really apologize for coming late. I want to really appreciate the dean of the faculty. Let me also appreciate my former dean of the faculty and also chairman of this occasion. I remember when you came in as a dean of the faculty in 2008, we agreed that we should be having faculty conference regularly. And I remember I was the chairman of that conferences for 5 years, and it was successful. And I'm happy that the sustainability is still there up till now. So we want to really thank you for what you've been doing, and we still expect that you contribute more to the faculty. I will come back to my students. So that during that period, we fought a lot. When I supervise two of them, he is the one that normally troubles me. But the other one will not trouble because it was a joint project. So he troubled me so much, but eventually I was so happy that he was able to listen to my advice, and then you can see him today. So we want to really appreciate you, and you make us proud. So we are very happy to see you, and we've noted, the management of the university has already noted all your recommendations, and which I think we are going to really implement to the letter. But I just want to also inform you that the university is also focusing more on how to use technology to drive a lot of activities in the university. Number one, the issue of the transcript that you mentioned, we are now doing a lot of digital computerization of the transcript now. For example, if you go to now, what we are trying to do now is to digitize all the past transcripts since 1980 down to 2005, because you know the transcript started online 2005, but we have the backlog. So we now employ a lot of people to help us do the conversion to online, and I'm sure that within the next few months, all these things that you are talking about will be over. So, and I also want to re-emphasize that on behalf of the management that the university is really doing very well in terms of technology. And I want to say that this is the Center of Excellence here, sponsored by the World Bank, started from 2011. But what we are trying to do is to attract a lot of agencies down to this place so that we have different sectors in the area of technology. Now, if you look at that side, now we have a NITDA Innovation Hub, which is going to be focusing on different certification, even AI. And that building is likely going to be commissioned early next year by the wife of the president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. We also have the Third Fund Center of Excellence. And the focus of that center is on digital literacy and emerging technologies. So we are looking at how we can build the skills of all students, irrespective of your department in the university. So that building is also coming up there with the facilities. We have all the facilities on ground, but we don't have the space. So Third Fund is also providing fund for that. We also have NCC. Professor Oluwaroti is, I think, is the director of that. Nigerian Communication Commission also give us Center of Excellence, and I want to appreciate our former Dean, Professor Koya, during that period. So that project is also coming up, and the idea is to build a lot of our skill in the area of telecom. So, and that is what that center is focusing on. And the new one that is coming alive now, maybe in the next 2 months, to the tune of about 1.5 billion, is a center of excellence in emerging tech and embedded system, AI and embedded system. So we have a part giving us that, and that is also going to really support a lot of things we are doing in the university. So the university is already working towards getting a lot of agencies and all these facilities on ground. Let me quickly recognize all my elders in the house. Let me recognize Professor Folala Sisi, Emeritus Professor. We want to really appreciate you. Once we see you, we're always very happy, and demand is always addressed that the faculty is also doing well. Thank you so much. Our emeritus Professor Adekoya is coming on your way. It's coming on the way. It's coming. At least a very skilled stage now. A stage has gone, so it's going to the next stage. So it's going to be announced very soon. So I want to really thank you for coming. Professor Oye, we want to thank you for your commitment. I remember too, he was the one that gave me clue to my undergraduate project, solution to my problem then. He was the one that gave it to me, so I can never forget him. And that was the knowledge I was able to transfer to some of you when I supervised your project. Thank you so much, Prof. And Madam, we want to really thank you on behalf of the Vice Chancellor. The Dean of Faculty of Computing, I want to recognize you. Librarian, can you just stand up for recognition? He's part of the management, and he has been with us this morning. Dr. Fadeyan, we want to really thank you for coming. I can see our employer here, the two employers. Dr. Etebon, where are you, sir? Member of the council. Dean of Tech, you are very powerful. You can see member of council here, employer. We want to thank you. We are Professor Seni. Professor Seni was here earlier, but it's no more. Okay, so we want to really recognize you. Let me just briefly recognize some few professors, and then I will use my Dean of Tech as a point of contact to other professors in the faculty. Because I cannot mention all of you, but I can see Professor Olarafe, see Professor Ladepo, I can see Professor JJ, I can see Professor Koya, I can see Professor Adioye. We can see the material science and engineering this side. They are always together all the time. Professor Olorinu, my former vice dean, I can see Professor Dejobi. Professor Rahman, can you just stand up for recognition again? God bless you, sir. Please stand up, sir. Can we just put our hand for this erudite professor? We want to really appreciate what you are trying to do, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir. I can also see my other professor. I won't recognize you, sir. I know you very well, and so I've recognized you in the morning. But I'm using the dean as a point of contact to all other professors in the faculty, all the HODs in the faculty, and all our other lecturers in the faculty, and to the students. Now, lesson for you to learn from what he has presented. He was like you when he worked with me. Where is your colleague? Where is he? You changed to Agbada this morning. Stand up, my friend. Very gentle, very quiet, but brilliant. Very gentle. No, it's not gentle, it's very tough. This one is very tough. When he was with me, very tough. And you got to a point that I said, no, I'm not too sure I can supervise you again. But eventually, sit off. But you see, the truth of the matter is that when I came back from South Korea, I came back with a lot of ideas. And what I did, I picked about 30 of them. Because during that period, we don't have lecturers in the department. We are few. So I can supervise as many students as possible. And I came back from South Korea with just heavy load of journals, books, nothing else. And I said, okay, can you work? I just gave them some materials. As a lecturer too, I don't really understand the content of those documents. And I gave them the document and said, oh yeah, go and work on this. Go and work on that. And that was the way we started. When they came back, fantastic results. Do you know that some of their publications were published in Scopus Index at that time? We don't even know whether it is going to be journal or whatever, but we published as at that time. And since that time, always everywhere. So we want to really appreciate you and thank you. What I just want to now is that please don't forget us here. We are also working hard to ensure that we move this university to the next level. And you remember that federal government funding cannot support what we are trying to do. Even the students, the tuition fee that you pay, We admitted 12,000 students this session. 12,000 students. Now let's do some calculations. Let's say each student pay 100,000 naira. Calculate that, 1.2 billion. The university 200,000 naira, 200 million naira monthly on electricity. So in a year, that is 2.4 billion. So where is that money coming from? And what the federal government is giving is just peanuts. So the only way we can do it now is how we can tap into our alumni. And then you've given us a lot of models here that I want to encourage all our colleagues. Let us see from the different departments, let us see how we can implement most of this model to ensure that we are self-sustained in the faculty. So that if you need a roll of paper, you don't go to the vice chancellor. If you want to buy a pen, you don't go to the vice chancellor. What we are trying to do is ensure that each department is self-sustained so that you can move the university to the next level. So I want to congratulate the faculty of, you can sit down. At least I have the control over the two of you. So you can sit down. But I'm saying that we are really doing well here. And the Dean of Tech, please don't forget to tap into these people. They flew in a lot of big people from the US. So something must draw before they go. And I've already informed you of what we need from them. So there's no story. Just pick about 10 of them together. They can give you 500 million. That's all. They can give you. Just convert it to dollar. It's just about less than $200,000, right? So you can give somebody 100,000, 50,000. So just tap about 5 of them. You get what we are looking for. So on behalf of the Vice Chancellor, I want to congratulate you and also thank you for coming. All our professors, we want to really appreciate you. I can see Professor Nibare and my neighbor, Professor Makinde. Thank you so much. HOD, Material Science and Engineering, I can see you. You are smiling. Thank you so much. Okay. So please, I want to stop from here. My dean can help me to recognize other professors and other dignitaries that are here. And the in-law from Lagos, sir. Baba, ẹ kú oríire o. Ẹ kú oríire o. A jẹun ọpẹ́ o. Torí àwọn òtẹ́ tí jẹun wọn dáadáa, but a fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí jẹun báyìí. Mo sì fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí máa jẹun báyìí ni. Yes. 2003 ló lọ so, but àtúwárí báyìí a sì máa jẹun wọn báyìí. Congratulations, sir. I say go. God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir, for the short and very powerful. Thank you so much. A round of applause for the DVC. Students, don't be tired. There's menu. Okay? We will serve item 7. Okay, sir. I would like to invite Engineer Jide Augo. Engineer Dr. Jide Augo, the Managing Director of Matrix Fertilizer, who is standing in for Engineer Abubakar Adisa Aliu. Please come to the podium now, sir.
Great effect. Great effect. On behalf of my principal, the Group CEO of Matrix Energy Group, I want to first tender his unreserved apology. He's actually unaffordably, present. Firstly, let me also stand on the existing protocol. I want to actually commend what the faculty, what they are doing, especially today's program is a very timely one. I also want to say a big thank you to our guest lecturer, Dr. Bello. He actually said it all. And I think what he probably, I could probably hear him asking us, AI is actually our reality now. and transformation is happening. It's asking us whether whether OAU, will not be part of it or will not be leading it. I think that's what he asks us, and I know that OAU never carry last. So I believe strongly that we are going to be leading Africa in this AI transformation. One of the things he also mentioned that also caught my interest personally is when he talked about how the school, why the school should actually have database of the alumni, or what the school should actually be tracking as metrics for performance. I remember years back I was in MIT, and the first class they said MIT, that as at that time, I think probably they did like a year or before that particular year, and they said that the entrepreneurs from MIT, living as at that time, they worth about 2 trillion. And if you put all of them together and they form a country, they are going to be one of the top 10 economies ahead of Russia and India as at that time. So that is how they actually track do. And they said because their own mantra is innovate or die. That is the mantra in MIT. Like he mentioned, it should not just be a luta continua alone. It should be a luta continua. Innovation. So that is what should be. That culture should be inculcated in in us. We have that greatness in us as product of OAU, and I can assure you, students, you don't even know what they are putting in you now until you get out of this school. It's when you get out of this school you will know the depth of what lecturers have actually put in you. But more importantly, please embrace AI. I don't want to give lecture because I can say all has been said. Last before I leave this podium, I'm glad to actually inform us that Alhaji Abdul Kabir, my principal, he committed to continue to support, because he has been offering a form of support, especially to our department, particularly to support our father, Professor Umoru, who actually happened to be, I think we are the first set of students that was a course advisor throughout. So, and sincerely, there's no way we are going to talk about whatever we do today that we don't actually talk about him and other lecturers too that also taught us. So he has actually instructed me to actually meet him and look at areas where the faculty can be supported. So in the days ahead, I will be probably working with him to look at all those areas, especially coming from today's lecture. So let us see what we can do, because it's not just going to be about talk. Even me personally, I will watch this. I hope this thing is recorded. I'm going to watch it again and pick those points. So it's very important. I will also encourage the students in particular to listen to this over and over. Let this motivate you. Let this tell you that you have a very big future ahead of you. And I believe maybe probably in the next few years we can say that the collective alumni from entrepreneurial from OAU, also if you put them and you make them as a country, they will be far bigger than Africa in terms of net worth. Thank you. God bless us all.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Aogo. Thank you so much. He's representing Alaji Liu, who is our special guest. He could not make it today. Thank you so much, and I hope that let us agree again on what we are going to do for the faculty, and the dean is going to be talking to you. I'm just reminding you, sir. All right. So now we move forward to the next thing on the agenda, which is the presentation of the award to our guest lecturer. Oh, yeah. So I'm going to ask the representative of the Vice Chancellor, Professor G. Aderomu, to come and do the presentation.
All of my dark days again. Or would you remain strong? I'm proud of the man I've become. You can have what's my own. One you more savage, I know. The more you look less you know. My money where they go.
And so you can see the irony of life now. Asking me to present a gift to somebody that gave me trouble years ago. That gave me trouble 20 years ago. For me to be here today now to now give something to you based on your contribution, I think is something of joy to me. Honestly, when I saw your picture that you are going to deliver this lecture, I was so happy. And I want to really emphasize that it's not only one. We have a lot of them like that in the UK. A lot of them like that in the UK. So we want to really appreciate you. We want to thank you, because you've already lifted the name of this university to the entire world. Congratulations. Your lecture was fantastic, and I hope you are going to PhD as early as possible, and then you can come back here to be. We can employ you as visiting professors, and then we can give. You have several offices here. Very neat environment. So give you an office here. You are going to be our visiting professors. Then try to attract funding to Dean. That is the only way you can do it. But yes. So please let us tap into this. We can create opportunity for them, offices here, and then they can operate. So that in terms of funding, we may not have the time to be doing that, but they can be assisting us to really get a lot of funding to the faculty. So this is an award from Faculty of Technology, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Nigeria. Award of Excellence, presented with deep appreciation to Idris Ayodeji Bello, Afropreneur and Managing Partner, Loftin Capital Management, in recognition of your invaluable contributions as at the Faculty Lecture 2025, given this day, 18th day of November 2025. Congratulations.
down.
Let me see you people go.
Go
Let
lo
me see.
go lo down.
Let me.
Go down.
Let me see you people go.
Go lo
Hey.
go down. Go down.
You don't walk, you don't try. You're supposed to be tight. Killer call me complacent, not tight. Say we don't know.
And I land softly on the sofa.
So fast, going let me see.
Go
Let me see.
lo down.
Let me.
Go
Let
down.
me see you people go.
Go lo go down. Go down. Go lo
Eva.
go down.
Let me
Go down.
see. My name.
Reggae. One time. Reggae.
My name.
Reggae.
Money.
Reggae.
My name is Idris.
Reggae.
I come from.
Reggae.
Show me your best friend.
This is my best friend.
And show me how you keep it.
Reggae. We rolling in dollar show ma badai. Ola mo ba mo tu wa lo Dubai. Energy for body malo. Kai I'm back on the show.
Thank you very much.
Alabia dey barista.
Yes, without much further ado, we'll get on with the program. Our special guest, as we have said before, cannot be with us today, and we want to present him with an award as well. He has made an immense contribution to the faculty. So, with respect to that, I'd like to invite Professor Ayodele to come and read his citation. So the guest speaker is ably represented by Dr. Augo. I'm sorry. All right. So please.
All right. Thank you very much. So Dr. Olajide Augo, please stand and face the. All right. Thank you very much. Yes. Yes. I'm here to read the citation of Engineer Abdulkabir Adisa Aliu, who is ably represented here by Dr. Olajide Augo, who is the Managing Director, Matrix Fertilizer, and is also a proud alumnus of the Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. Yeah. All right, so I'll just go to the citation of Engineer Abdulkabir Adisa Aliu right away. Pardon me to remove my glasses. So Engineer Abdulkabir Adisa Aliu is a visionary, dynamic, and accomplished leader in the global energy sector. He is a founder and chief executive officer of Matrix Energy Group. He has over 2 decades of experience working with global recognized oil and gas companies such as ExxonMobil and CFM, and some of the most respected banks in Nigeria, such as Standard Trust Bank, now UBA, and Access Bank. He founded Matrix Energy Group in 2004, an integrated oil and gas company that specializes in the exploration, production, refining, trading, supply, distribution, and transportation of hydrocarbons. Matrix Energy Group has expanded its operations beyond the oil and gas sector, venturing into industries such as fertilizer production and mining. Like I said earlier on, Dr. Augo here is the managing director of the Matrix Fertilizer. So energy is a global industry that plays a crucial role in empowering the world's economy. And Engineer Aliu is a visionary leader and a forward thinker who is resilient with a unique ability to swiftly overcome challenges. I think we can see this from what I've read, how he started from ExxonMobil, going to banks, then finally founding the Matrix Energy Group. Please, let's give him a round of applause. A lot of us would like to be like him, but we don't know what he has gone through. So please clap for him again. All right, so Engineer Aliu bagged his first degree in metallurgical and materials engineering from the prestigious Obafemi Awolowo University in 1998. He has also attended several trainings on oil and gas business, as well as in business development and strategy execution, both locally and internationally. In February 2024, considering the work he has done, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu appointed him as a member of the Presidential Advisory Committee. Please, let's put our hands together for that too. Engineer Aliu is a member of the following professional bodies: Strategic Partners of the Commonwealth Enterprise and Investment Council, the Nigeria Society of Engineers, and is also a registered engineer with the COREN, Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria. Now, Engineer Aliu is also a result-oriented achiever, as we can see. He's a humanitarian, a philanthropist, passionate about his immediate and extended environment. We are going to be talking about how he has shown his passion for his extended environment as we go on. So he founded the Abdulkabir Aliu Foundation in 2014 with a modest beginning to help 70 brilliant students in 6 federal universities. The foundation now accepts applications from students in 13 federal universities across Nigeria. And the scholarship, please put our hands together. And the scholarship has been expanded to offer international scholarships, including fully funded awards for Nigerian students at Integra University, India. So he has not stopped in Nigeria, he's also extending his tentacles all over the world. Please, let's put our hands together for him again. I think I can testify to the one I want to read now. The Department of Material Science and Engineering, which was formerly Metallurgical and Materials Engineering, at Obafemi Awolowo University has benefited immensely from its foundation. Currently, 6 postgraduate students in the department are receiving full scholarship from the foundation, and additional 10 have been selected for the 2025-2026 academic session. These are in addition to his undergraduate scholarship award to indigent students studying at Obafemi Awolowo University. If you are here today as an indigent student, there is a scholarship for you to apply for. Thanks to Engineer Adisa Aliu. Now, in June 2020, Abdulkabir Aliu Foundation funded the acquisition of state-of-the-art equipment such as the Calzi Smart Evo 10 scanning electron microscope, we call it SEM, and an Autolab PG Star 202 potential start. In July 2022, it funded an e-strong electromechanical testing system. And I think that e-strong maybe is the only one in OAU now, I don't know. So please, let's put our hands together for him. It's a very big one. All these have significantly impacted the postgraduate and undergraduate students' training and research not just at the Department of Material Science and Engineering, but at OAU as a whole. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stand up with a standing ovation, please, and a round of applause. I present to you Engineer Aliu, Engineer Abdulkabir Adisa Aliu. Thank you very much for giving to us. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Professor Ayodele. Please, I'd like to now invite the erudite, the scholarly, Professor Folala Sisi, former staff of agricultural engineering here, and Vice Chancellor of University of U, to come and present this award to. Please, a round of applause. Thank you very much.
The grass is greener on the other side.
Oh.
That's what I told before I took a ride.
Good afternoon.
Bridges so
I will take advantage of my being here to say one or two things. As somebody who came here 56 years ago, I resumed here in 1969. I think it is a great privilege that I'm still around, and I don't take that for granted. Secondly, we are seeing that the leaders, those who started this university, had lofty dreams. Lofty dreams. That is what Idris is saying now. We must not have small dreams for culture and learning. Culture and many of us are forgetting our background. We are forgetting our homes. We are abandoning our homes. Some of us are abandoning our homes for witches and wizards that they don't exist. Rubbish. You are running away. Culture. We want you to continue to go home. I went to America in '63, married there, came back. Most of my colleagues stayed back. And I said, I'm going home. And I'm going to be a first-class citizen. And God made it so. So you want to, the situation has also changed now. You can live anywhere and still impact on Nigeria. You can make a difference once you don't forget your background. That's the culture. You learn and the impact on your community. You learn and impact on your faith. You learn and impact on your people. Very important. Idris, I thank you for the lecture. His father was my student in 1970. Yes, his father was my student. And he became my friend. I was at his wedding when he took your daughter. I was there. Arola Bello was my good friend through his brother who was in the library, Alaji A. Bello. So, and I'm still here. I thank God for this. But the thing is that we want to thank people who remember their roots. That is what we are doing now. Alaji Aliyu was our student here. And he has been impacting everywhere. I know him. He was very active in MSS and he did well. Idris was in MSS. Aziz, why are you not there? They all are making a difference. All of you can make a difference in your area. Can you clap for yourself that you are here? It is an opportunity. Most of the students I taught, I told them the things in the books are, I'm going to read them. But what you learn from talking to me is that your knowledge goes beyond the classroom. That you go back and start making a difference. You can read the things in the book. I never use the book to teach. Some of them are here. Olarafa and others. Mrs. Professor, Mrs. Aregbesola, and others. Ayodele, Akin Damsi, they are all my people. So, you can make a difference. I show you the equations. Who doesn't know equations? You go and learn to be useful. You go and learn to have big dreams. You go and learn and do well. So we thank you again for coming. Thank you for making a difference. And God will bless you. Thank you very much.
the grass is greener on the other side. That's what I thought before I took a ride. But my bridges so I let them say I know life was such a fun.
Three of us actually representing Alaji Abdulkabir. Myself.
It's ready, my own.
Alhaji Oyelade, engineer Okusoya. Very well.
Only Kimabo, only Kimabo, Ire. Ire, ayo, yo. Only Kimabo, Ire. Agency me. Agency me. Your body bless me, make me do the happy. I know you just make me only one bless me, make you do the happy. I know you just oh no no, muga juwailo, muga, baby mo, ain't gonna learn me. I just should see me. I don't know what. No go catch me. Ain't gonna learn me. I just should see me. Make I live my life.
Ẹ kàn ń play ẹ̀ lólè látẹ̀kàn. Ẹ kàn ń play ẹ̀ látẹ̀kàn.
Yes, getting on with the program, we have a... Yes, so the faculty has decided to honor those who have served Faculty of Technology meritoriously. Yes, so to begin with that list, we would like to call on Professor Alaba Adekoya to present the award to the chairman of the occasion, Professor Titilayo Adelaja Kuku.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody. When I was leaving my seat, I decided that I didn't want to behave like my teacher, Professor Lasisi, that I didn't want to say anything. Unfortunately, this man has told me that I have to say something about this man. Some already have told me what I'm going to say indirectly. Well, I've known this man for a long time. As long as 1971 or thereabout. When we were younger, we used to share rooms together as graduate assistants. Living in the same apartment, 2-bedroom apartment. He was the cook, I was the cleaner, because I didn't know how to cook. And I think I benefited from that relationship. Because when I went to the US in 1977, I don't know, maybe I would not have survived, if not for the mentorship that I got from him. I had to cook and do a lot of things, and then came back to Nigeria. So he's a very good friend of mine. People over there, everybody knows. Well, for the benefit of those that are younger in the faculty, I graduated from the Department of Agricultural Engineering. The speaker has gone. You see there? Okay, with a similar grade, I finished with a first class honors degree. And one of my teachers was Professor Lasisi. Somewhere along the line, I transferred to the Department of Mechanical Engineering to assist them because there was serious shortage of staff. At a point, they had one professor, they had 1.5 staff. One professor and was it graduate assistant or assistant lecturer? Assistant lecturer, now professor. That's Professor Koya there. So we thank God. I think during the discussion, it was mentioned that my friend started this idea of faculty lecture when he was dean of the faculty. So that's something that is going to be here forever, even when none of us is going to be around. So it's my great pleasure to present this to Professor C.A. Kuku, Faculty of Technology, OAU, Award of Honor, presented to Professor T.T. Larry.
What's it? Màrírí gbà ó, èṣù ní dí mi lọ́nà ire ayọ̀ mi. Ẹ̀mí mímọ́ ló ṣàkóso ire ayé mi o.
Ẹni bá lóun fẹ́ dínà
ire ayọ̀ mi. Mo fẹ́ dínà sí iṣẹ́ mi o. Bóyá nínú ilé ní tàbí lẹ́yìn odi. Ọ̀rọ̀ ẹjọ́ iná bíbélì ni wàgà fún.
Ẹ̀mí mímọ́ ló ṣàkóso ire ayọ̀ mi. Ẹ̀mí mímọ́ ló ṣàkóso ire ayé mi o.
Ire ni wọ́n
Oh, my G, shalom, shalom, ọmọdé o, ọmọdé o, oh, my G, shalom, shalom, ọmọdé o, ọmọdé o, oh, my G, shalom, shalom, ọmọdé o. Ó ní ìwọ rí mi ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ lóde o, ẹlẹ́dàá mi kò wá bá mi gbà, òkìkí tí èmi rí yẹn ogun tó
Yes,
lè
thank you so much. Yes, continuing with the tradition of the Institute lecture, where we honor our past deans and former staff, we would like to present another award of appreciation and dedication and commitment to Professor Olufemi Adebola Koya, the immediate past dean of the Faculty of Technology. The award is to be presented by my very own, my Oga Patapata of the African Institute for Science, Policy and Innovation, Professor T.O. Oyepisi. I would like to call on you to come and present this award to Professor Koya. Thank you so much, sir.
Chairman, guest speaker, distinguished invited guest. Now it's my pleasure to be here and also an honor to give an award to my friend and also my former dean. We knew each other outside the faculty before, but when he became the dean, we interacted more because I was for my institute then. But one thing I noticed in his life is that well organized, well meticulous and articulate. So the kind of legacy that you left behind of trying to make sure that all information get across to the entirety of the faculty. That legacy, I could not really forget that. Thank you for making a little around to the administration of the faculty during your time. So it's my pleasure, on behalf of the Faculty of Technology of Alumni University, to present to you our distinguished for service award to Professor Olufemi Adebola Koya in recognition of an appreciation of your dedication and commitment as Dean between August 2022 and July 2024. So, congratulations.
Some great Shuri Buruku Atiga Talaiti Dai Some great Shuri Buru Great Ife Ayayu Great Ife Great Ife Ayayu Melody Shuri Ayayu Great Ife greatest dogbos articulate Ife ever conscious
thank you so much.
Ife
The next awardee is, as I said, my very own, my former Oga and still Oga and forever Oga, Professor Timothy Oyebisi. I'd like to call on the Dean of Faculty of Technology, Professor, to come and present him this award.
Thank you, everybody, for the honor to present this award to our met here while we were employed, and we know their contributions. It started from electoral department and migrated to TPDU, now ISP. By TPDU, I mean Technology Planning Development Policy. I will now have African Institute of Science Policy and Innovation. So, Baba has trained so many PhD holders and master's holders in management technology. We are indeed very grateful to him for all these achievements. We pray that in his present state, we continue to enjoy a lot of goodness from God in terms of health. Yes, thank you. Good health, abundant blessing from your children, and you never suffer. So, I therefore present the Faculty of Technology, OAU, Nigeria, Distinguished Retiree Award, presented to Professor Timothy Oyebisi, recognition of his outstanding achievement while serving the university. Congratulations, sir.
Ever making our technology. All along baradu. Ini awa kadarani. Aini awa baba ijaya. Ini awa kadarani.
Yes, committee for food. Please have our food at the entrance. So yes, committee for food. Almost at item 7. Almost. So the next award is also going to a former dean, Professor Funsho Alaba Akeredolu, to be represented by Professor Shonibare. Please, hands of applause for that. Please, I would like to call on Professor Owolarafe to present this award. The great Owolarafe. Please, a round of applause, please, for our professors.
Thank you, Mr. MC. Well, incidentally, Kemkenya is my second department. And Professor Dolu, as the dean, I served under him as head of department. I remember in 2006, I nearly moved to Kemkenya, but I was given an office there for my Kenyani. So, Professor Sonibare, representing Professor Akeredolu, is my close friend. And I also am a mentor to Professor Akeredolu. Please bring the award. No, I'm a mentor to Professor Akeredolu. Yes. I'm a mentor to Professor Akeredolu. Where this is the dignitary award presented to Professor Funso Alaba Akeredolu in the recognition of his outstanding contribution, exceptional service, and unwavering dedication to the Faculty of Technology. Given this day, 19th day of November 2025. Congratulations.
I will never be ungrateful to you, but I will never be ungrateful to you. I will never be ungrateful to you. I will never be ungrateful, Papa. I will never be. I will never be.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, we are now on the second to the last. Please bear with us. Bear with us, please. So, Distinguished Retiree Award goes to, another one goes to Mr. Sunday Olufemi Kehinde, the former faculty secretary of the Faculty of Technology, to be presented by Professor Koya. Thank you so much, sir.
Olufemi kí wọ́n má mọ̀ mọ̀ sí láyé tó wá o. Kí wọ́n má mọ̀ yá láyé tó wá o. Adùn ní kò mèrè èkúrò.
Thank you very much. It gives me a great pleasure to be the presenter of this award to our former FS. Mr. Kehinde was, for so many years, the admission officer of the university. And when he was transferred to the faculty, I had the privilege of working with him, or he working with me. We worked together, so articulate, so organized, that no faculty paper got missing. And during his time, we started the digitalization of the faculty. We stopped using papers and wasting resources. When he was going to leave, about 3 senior faculty members were leaving at the same time. And that coincided with my time of exit as the dean. I was really afraid for the faculty. But because he left a very strong legacy, the faculty continued to strive higher. So on this note, we want to recognize you for the excellent service that you have provided. Incidentally, we bear same name. So this award is presented to Mr. Sunday Olufemi Kehinde on behalf of the Faculty of Technology. Congratulations, sir. Professor Binuyan, our food. Where is our food? Where is our food? the next distinguished retiree award goes to Mr. Godwin Okobe. I can even say a few things about you. When I was doing my master's, when you were in PG school, very helpful, very efficient, very kind, very gentle. Thank you. I can say that. So to present my able professor.
Thank you very much, everyone. Many times, the limelight is on the academic staff. But many times, we can't do a lot of things without the dynamic support of the administrative staff. So it's my pleasure today to present this distinguished retiree award presented to Mr. Godwin Okobe. He's a retired lecturer from the Faculty of Technology. Thank you so much. Many of us saw your hard work and your dedication. Thank you so much.
Yes, so we are now down to the distinguished alumni, people that have contributed immensely to their departments in the Faculty of Technology. These people have contributed in so many ways, especially financial. They have uplifted where they have graduated from. And I hope that in the future, I mean, a lot of you will come back and do likewise for your departments. So these two have been selected by their departments as heavy contributors to the Department of Agricultural Engineering. Yes. So Engineer Dimeji Tomori and Engineer Abayomi Shofolahon. Please can Professor Uolarafe come up and collect the awards for them. Thank you so much.
So it's good to mention the things that they've done for us. Engineer Dimeji Tomori came in 96, and as soon as he left, he was the student president of our society. And one of the first things he did was to give us some set of computers, desktop, for the students' reading room. But beyond that, he's been very, very passionate about indigent students. So every year, he supports some of our indigent students with their school fees. So we appreciate that we started to work on this year's own. Engineer Bayomi, also one of our students that finished and currently is partnering with us. He's bringing the industry to our final year projects. Wow. So every year he brings out a competition where students pitch, and he picks 3 projects that he is involved in, and he supports financially and ensures that these projects are viable projects. So we are to them for their support to the department over the years. Thank you very much.
So to present the award to Engineer Dimeji Tomori, please Professor Ayodele present the award.
He said his mentee wants to present the award to him. Please say here, sir. It's good. So where you have sown, we are becoming bigger. He said, before I present this, there's something that, when I was the HOD for like 3 years, that whenever I talk to our alumni, some of them will say, no, the department did not do them well and all that. I always tell them, are you hearing me? Is the mic working? Okay, I always tell them that don't think of the lecturers. Think of what you can do for students. And that has worked a great deal. So, Mr. Idris, thank you very much for your lecture today. So I'm very passionate about our students. And I hope they will, listen to everything we have said. So, Engineer Dimeji Tomori, I've checked you on LinkedIn and I see what you are doing for agric engineering students. We pray that God will continue to bless you. So, to present this award, Faculty of Technology of Obafemi Awolowo University, Ilefe, Nigeria, Distinguished Alumni Award presented to Engineer Dimeji Tomori in honor and recognition of your professional accomplishments and significant contributions to society, which have brought credit to the faculty, your department, and the university. This will forever inspire those who follow.
Yes, to present Engineer Abayomi Shofolahon, please, I'll call on Professor Oluwaroti to quickly come up and do honors. Professor Binion, where is it?
I know who I be. I just want my peace, make money day. I don't get everything I need. In my own time.
I'm here to present this award to a distinguished alumni, Engineer Abayomi Shofolahon, in honor and recognition of your professional accomplishment and a significant contribution to the society, which has brought credit to the faculty and the university. This will forever inspire those who follow. Thank you very much.
Oluwatosin, the Jesus that I know is enough for me. Oluwatosin, the Jesus that I know is enough. Oh yeah, me mommy. Looky, Lord. Me mommy. Looky, Lord. Àwọn áńgẹ́lì oníyè mẹ́fà o, wọ́n fi méjì bójú, wọ́n fi méjì fò, wọ́n fi méjì bo ẹsẹ̀ wọn.
Yes, so for Department of Computer Engineering, now the Faculty of Computing Technology, well, you have to. It's not yet in our psyche, so forgive me if I make a mistake. Yes, sir. So people that have contributed immensely to the department, Mr. Ayotunde Oluseyi, the CIO of GT Bank Sierra Leone, and Mrs. Tolutope Tomilola Olaniyonu. To say a few things is Professor Oluwatope, the HOD, the HOD in just. Thank you very much. Our able MC. Well, it is a pleasure in the department to present this worthy alumni of the department, Mr. Ayotunde Oluseyi, who is currently the CIO GT Bank Sierra Leone, as well as Mrs. Tolulope Tomilola Olaniyonu. The two graduates of the department read computer engineering at different years and graduated excellently. Both of them were very, very active when they were students. But interestingly, both of them also have been able to motivate their classmates in supporting the department in the last 3 years. Most importantly, during the accreditation, NUC and current accreditation of computer engineering, they were able to mobilize support for the department in acquiring teaching aid and teaching materials to see that the department was able to succeed in that. Currently, both of them are still well motivated. They are still in the business of mentoring students, supporting the department in diverse endeavors. So it is our pleasure to present the two worthy alumni of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, then now Faculty of Computing Science and Engineering for this award of the Faculty Technology. Thank you. So yeah, to present this award, they are not around, unfortunately. So who are the representatives? Okay, Dr. Fuwale is representing Mr. Yotunde Olusheyi. Please, can Professor Oladipo please step up and please to present this award. Thank you so much, sir. Please, a round of applause for him, please. Yeah, we understand Mr. Olusheyi is online. So yeah, the Faculty of Technology greets you on behalf of Computer Engineering. We thank you for your support, for your financial contributions to the department. Thank you so much.
Okay. The HOD has taught, I mean, the HOD or chairman now, which one do we? All of the above are already talking about the students. My own is to present the award. Maybe I should read one of the first line of the award. Distinguished Alumni Award presented to Mr. Ayotunde Olusheyi, CIO GT Bank, Sierra Leone, in honor and recognition of his professional accomplishments and significant contributions to, I can't read the remaining one. So I will present the award.
Ọba tó ṣoore fún mi láì wo mo wá yàn bàbá ìwọ ló ṣoore fún mi tí o mọ yìí ó ṣòro fún wọn. Ọba tó ṣoore fún mi láì wo mo wá yàn.
This is a difficult task. It's a difficult task because I'm presenting award to the HOD on behalf of the awardee. So there's no need to read anything. I will only read the name of the candidate and I will present the award. This one is presented to Mrs. Tolulope Tomilola Olaniyonu.
Bàbá ìwọ ló ṣoore fún mi tí o mọ yìí ó ṣòro fún wọn. Very good, just sit in aṣọ́rẹ́ àyà èmi ó máa yọ̀ nínú Olúwa Olúwa ṣeun ó fèrè síṣẹ́. Ó ní lily of the valley. Ìwọ lọ́ba ìmọ̀lẹ̀ o. Ọ̀làlà rẹ̀ ọ̀rẹ́ lórí gbogbo sáyé. Bí kò bá sáyé mọ́, ìwọ kò sí yí padà.
Yes, for chemical engineering. Please, we are very sorry. It's hot. We know that you are restless, you are hungry. Please, just bear with us. These are people that have contributed to your respective departments, and let us just do them the honor and honor them, please. So please just bear with us another 10-15 minutes. We are done. I'm so sorry about the atmosphere. So for chemical engineering, engineer Nola Adetola, CEO Veritasi Properties, has contributed a lot to chemical engineering. And engineer Yomi Akinfesoye, Executive Director, the Beacon, Nigeria. I hope you are listening, our students are listening to this. Please contribute to your department when you're out. So to present this award,
So to present the award, please, the Distinguished Alumni Award is being presented to Engineer Not Adit, CEO, Veritasis Properties, in honor of the and recognition of your professional accomplishments and significant contributions to society, which has brought credit to the faculty and university. So on behalf of the Dean of the faculty and the entire faculty, I'm presenting the award. Okay, this distinguished award, Alumni Awards, is being presented to Engineer Yomi Akinfesoye, Executive Director, the Beacon, Nigeria, in honor of and recognition of your professional accomplishments and significant contributions to society, which have brought credit to the faculty and university. So on behalf of the faculty, I'm presenting this award.
Thank you so much, sirs. Thank you, sir. So for civil engineering, engineer Moruf Ojebode and Mr. Ibukun Shobokun Ola. To receive the awards for them is Professor Ayodele. Yes.
Engineer Moruf Ojebode is ably represented by Engineer Degbite. So they said we should not talk again, so we will not talk. But I know that these alumni, they've contributed to human capacity, developing our students. In fact, one of them, Sigwadeli, said every year he'll be coming to talk to our final year students and present cash award to the best students to just encourage them to still put in their efforts to their CGPA. And then somebody has continued to contribute to the department, contributing funds for equipment that impacts our students positively. So we say a big thank you to them.
Yes. To present this is Professor M.D. Shitu.
Yes, on behalf of the Civil Engineering Department and the Faculty of Technology, and specifically Obafemi Awolowo University Ile-Ife, we present this award to Engineer Moruf Ojebode for his contribution to the development of our students, the department, and the Faculty of Technology. Thank you very much. On On behalf of the Department of Civil Engineering, Faculty of Technology, and Obafemi Awolowo University, we present this award to Mr. Ibukun Shobukola for his contribution to the development of the department and the faculty in general. Thank you very much.
Department of Food Science and Technology. Please, somebody drop this note for us. She put a document inside a manual, inside one of the programs. Please, if you see a program with a document inside, the person did not mention what type of document it is. Please kindly return it to me. Please check your program if there's any program, a document inside. There's no mention of the document. Thank you so much. Yes, for Food Science and Technology, we have Dr. Gbenga Olowo Woye and Dr. Dari Ramoni. Are there representatives here? Okay, so the HOD food, should come and receive the awards. And to present this award is Professor G.O. Binion. Thank you so much.
Dr. Dari Ramani, for the distinguished work that you did for the faculty. Thank you very much. This award is going to you for your distinguished and for the excellent work that you did for the faculty. Thank you very much.
From my spirit to my soul, until my voice re-echoes.
Yes, thank you so much. Material Science and Engineering. Engineer Dr. Oludare Jeremiah Fedo and Engineer Olumide Adeyemo, Midwell Engineering Services. To receive this award on their behalf, they are Professor Olawale, the HOD of Materials. And to present this award, Professor Titilayo Olaposi. Please come forward.
Give me chance.
I will never be ungrateful to you, Baba.
Faculty of Technology, Obafemi Awolowo University of Nigeria, Distinguished Alumni Award, presented to Engineer Olumide Adeyemo, Midwell Engineering Services, in honor and recognition of your professional accomplishments and significant contributions to society, which have brought credit to the faculty and university. This will forever inspire those who follow. Congratulations. Faculty of Technology, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, Nigeria. Distinguished Alumni Award presented to Engineer Dr. Oludare Jeremiah Fedo in honor and recognition of your professional accomplishments and significant contributions to society, which have brought credit to the faculty and university. This will forever inspire those who follow. Congratulations.
Yes, and last but not the least, obviously the department that makes Nigeria go round, the great and honorable Department of Mechanical Engineering, the greatest department in the Faculty of Technology, to receive the HOD and to present this award is Professor Odejobi. Thank you so much, sir.
This award is presented to this distinguished alumni award is presented to Mr. Tosin Eniolorunda, Group CEO, Money Point Incorporation, in recognition of your contribution to the Department of Mechanical Engineering and the Faculty of Technology and the entire university. God bless you.
Àtúntì fẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ nìyẹn bá ṣe máa ń ṣe àdéhùn àsìkò máa ń mú tó. Ìgbà eré àsìkò.
The second distinguished alumni award goes to Engineer Yahaya Sulaiman, Head, Hull and Subsea Inspection Nigeria, in recognition of your contribution to the Department of Mechanical Engineering, Faculty of Technology, and the University, Afropreneurship World University, Ile-Ife at large. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. And as we come to the closing chapters of the 2025 faculty lecture, I really appreciate and I thank you very much for attending this event. I thank you for bearing with us here in this cold AC, working very well. So please let me invite the chairman of the event of the organizing committee to come and give his closing remarks. Thank you so much.
I want to appreciate all our students and our daddies for being patient till now. Professor Lasisi, we appreciate you, sir. He's a professor of a professor. He has had professors as grandchildren. We are grateful to you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Professor Adekoya, we appreciate you, sir. Professor Kuku, our chairman, we appreciate you, sir. Professor Oyebesi, we thank you, sir. All our senior professors here, we appreciate you. All our colleagues for staying this long, despite the fact that the environment is also conducive, we appreciate you. Our special lecturer, special guest lecturer, all the way from the US, not only did he come, he also brought some people with him. We also appreciate you, and we appreciate your entourage. Please celebrate them for us. Our students, without you, this wouldn't have been a success. You have stayed till now. Please celebrate yourself. Some few years' time, you will be in this position. Say. It's a scam. But there is an award now for the best students in this faculty. You can instantly become a millionaire with that award. Once you are the best student. So who wants to be a millionaire? Raise up your hand now. That is to tell you, you need to do what? To work at it. And God will help you. I'm telling you of a reality. Not only will you become a millionaire, people in your department will be what? A millionaire. Real, I'm telling you. Come to this convocation. You will hear more of it. You will hear the best students get that money. Is that okay? Just to provoke you to know that education is not a scam. Please, I want to appreciate all of you for coming. We are trusting God. 2 years' time, we'll have another glorious outing like this. Next year, we are going to have our conference, international conference. So please, begin to prepare yourselves now. You heard what the Vice Chancellor said, or the representative of the Vice Chancellor. From their undergraduate thesis, he was able to write a scopal-based paper. That is to tell you that you too can do the same. And I have a student, he wrote a paper, he presented it, and that paper earned him a scholarship to study outside this country. Not only that, he's been able to connect others for the same benefit. So there is nothing, if you are told to do something, please do it and do it with the whole of your heart. God will help you in Jesus' name. So thank you very much, everybody. We appreciate you, sirs and mass. We are grateful for your patience. Wish you safe journey back home. God bless you. Item 7 is available, please. Students, please stay here. Students, stay here. Staff, please canteen. Oh, you are them.
Great effect. Africa's most beautiful campus, conscious, vigilance, progressive, alert against all oppression, forward ever, backward never, for lady the culture, sports and struggles, great effect. I love you, there's only one great effect in the universe, another great effect is a counterfeit. Great, 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 great. Great effect, great effect. That's not. Nigeria, we Shama